thinks outside of the box, goes for the different item build. The PSG LGD, I think, is the perfect example for it. Jin Q always does Jin Q stuff. That was always YapzOr, but Puppey also tends to get a lot of farm. I think that's something that they need to fix, and they've been a bit too experimental with their drafts, I would say. Trying to make the heroes work that are really not, meta, and Team Secret losing a lot of the games, didn't play too many games at the majors, so they couldn't even set the meta for themselves.
Yeah, and much like you guys, I thought that may have been due to a lack of motivation. They've already qualified for TI, but Zai may have something to say differently. A sound effect, and you're going to need to recognize which hero it comes from. Production, if you are ready, play the sound.
Lacoste waking up in the morning.
That's very ominous. Lacoste waking up in the morning, screeching, I believe it. Exclamation point DHL drop. A, if you think it's Death Prophet. B, if it's Grimstroke. C, if it's Arc Warden. Or D, if it's Necrophos. Gentlemen, what are your theories?
My theory is that I know 100% which one it is because it's the hero that I don't play.
Yeah, so under the table, I can then show you.
Yeah,
That was good. That's it. We got it.
We know.
We know.
You don't.
We know. I know. Do they know? I don't know. We're gonna have to find out. You're gonna have to wait after the break, and when we come back, we will reveal the answer. We'll be right back. Expectations, reasonable expectations, TI qualifiers, but how's their gameplay been? We saw a little bit of secret at the Anime Major. How'd you feel about them, Lacoste?
Definitely not the team secret that, won 5-6 tournaments in a row. Something's just off with the team. I like that Zai talked about how they're still motivated, which I really like. They want to win. They want to show, maybe they're in TI form, but I want to see them bounce back.
I think they're haunted.
They're haunted?
They're haunted. By the sound? Let me hear it again. I wasn't 100% sure what it was. That's terrifying. Secret are probably listening to that every night and like, oh my god, where's my TI Grand Finals? Puppy, where's your second TI Grand Finals? Is it because you keep picking Death Prophet? Is it because you keep picking Grimstroke? Is it because you keep picking Arc Warden? Or is it because you keep picking Necrophos? Ding 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 ding. It's Grimstroke. That's the Phantom's Embrace going over. It's about to silence all these people.
Well, I gotta tell you, I was wrong. It's one of my most played heroes. Maybe I just need a new headset, because I was 100% sure that it's Arc Warden.
Wait, it wasn't turned on. There we go.
I couldn't hear it.
Yeah, I got you. No worries. Happens every time.
What did you think it was?
No,
Arc Warden.
Yeah. We both.
He also thinks like
we were tapping it. Yeah.
What did you think it was, like Flux?
No,
Oh, the Spark Wraith.
Spark Wraith.
Okay,
that's the word I was looking for. Again, it's gone to my head.
I'll give you that one.
Thank you.
They're actually...
They sound the same.
They look the same also.
Yeah, maybe they are actually the same sound.
Oh my god, gets their action spikes on the line. We need to find the lore.
I'm sure one person automatically just tested it. It's like, no, just idiots. This is very wrong. Oh well, happens.
Happens. Draft happens.
One thing I noticed, you scroll through Team NIGMA's draft. If you are not colorblind, you will see that every single time they have an orange hero picked in their last 15, maybe even 20 games.
Interesting.
So they open up with both of those. Phoenix plus a Dragon Knight, stun, teamfight, good way of protecting the egg. On the other side, we have Nyx Assassin. T-Gov, you go now.
I mean, Nyx Assassin, it's a first pick hero. It mitigates quite a lot of these int heroes we saw previously in today and other series alone. It's pretty annoying to deal with, but I think how the meta has shifted, if you're mitigating the int heroes, you're not really dealing well with the kind of the overwhelming team fight and the run that you start. And that's why you see NIGMA go for this kind of red pick, because Phoenix and DK, they can play strong team fights and they can hit towers quite quickly. And the Secret go for a Timbersaw themselves. Double strength heroes, opening from NIGMA, so it just kind of, it opens up. I think the biggest weakness of Nyx Assassin is the fact that you, in the laning phase, it's like you don't really kill things too much unless you have a strong offlane, and realistically you want to go play a tri lane as quick as possible and just play for your carry.
He's also not a hero that if he's paired up with the Timber, that can easily rotate and make stuff happen. You need to have boots of speed, need to get close to be able to get a stun. He's not that Earth Spirit type of a hero that can make a lot of things happen early on. So it's also Phoenix into Nyx Assassin, so that's a great thing. One thing I noticed about Team NIGMA is that they don't like to pick up a BKB when they're playing the same exact matchup on the Phoenix, which a lot of the Chinese players do. It's pretty much whether you're playing 4 or 5, there's going to be a BKB. It's all about that Sunray, so you don't care about the carapace.
Yeah, obviously Secret banning out the Luna once again. It was NIGMA was the team that really popularized the Luna into Timbersaw.
Yep.
It's what kind of carried them through, I believe, the tail end of wildcards and early group stage was that kind of matchup alone and how they were able to dominate the game. So yeah, NIGMA kind of dictating the meta of the bans at least.
Is there any other team that warrants a first phase Invoker ban right now in competitive Dota?
Hellbear Smashes before Storm Summer.
Okay,
was
yeah,
rumored
that's,
from the team.
I think that's a
sorry.
product of the hero pools more than the strength of the players.
I gave you an answer, Tsunami.
You did. And my other question would have been, why isn't Io being banned? But it's because NIGMA tried to run it twice in their Viking GG series and it did not work.
Yeah, I think that, the main thing here is NIGMA yesterday, they were second pick both games, picked Io, and instantly responded by a Razor or a Timber style of draft. And here, NIGMA are second pick again, so I don't think they have that confidence in themselves playing into maybe that, or they just want to try something new, because it's a lower bracket, you lose the series, you're out the tournament, you're not going to have any chance of getting any further.
Team Secret just protecting the Timbersaw pick with Luna, Ursa. Ursa has been proven to be one of the best carry heroes. Opens up the Roche, opens up the second Roche. You have that big momentum coming out, picking up the Shard. Probably one of the best heroes to pick up the Shard from Roche on top of it. And yeah, they just want to be able give Timbersaw a good early game so that he is able to scale. We saw what Timbersaw can do if they get the free farm from the laning stage.
Interesting thing here is about that Secret. Since playing at the Annie Major, I believe they haven't picked the same 2 heroes in an opening. So throughout the entire drafts of Major and then ESL Summer so far, it's never just been like the Mars Phoenix opening or the DK Phoenix opening. It's always been a different combination.
Something that we talked about, especially against like T1, EG, they have pretty similar openings. Lion Timber, DK Timber, DK Lion, TB DK, you name it. But they are aiming for these strong heroes that proven to be good.
Yep.
On the other side, Team Secret, as you mentioned, like they're just mixing things up. Sometimes
every single
it's
time.
Templar Assassin, sometimes it's a Broodmother, Lion, or Puck. They go with the Razor.
I like this ban from Secret the IO, respecting it in second phase, because NIGMA could very easily go IO into Gyro to have a strong lane into then what would be a Timber Nyx lane, and that kind of disrupts kind of the momentum of the game. So I like the fact that Secret respect a hero that NIGMA hasn't been doing so well on recently.
I would love to see, not maybe right now, but Lina for Team Secret, because you have a good matchup against the Razor. You have an Egg hitter against NIGMA. You have that burst damage. Did I say NIGMA or Egg? Burst damage
Same
against
thing.
the Dragon Knight. But yeah, Lina seems really good. You also have someone to set things up. That's Nyx Assassin, possibly even Timbersaw going in, slowing them down.
Oh, okay. Second phase, Ancient Apparition. Often first phase ban, but yeah, with these 2 teams, it's slipping its entire way through.
Not really an egg hitter, though. All 3 of these heroes are terrible at taking care of Supernova.
They will probably, I think, like Lacoste mentioned, this idea of Alina does sound very good. Any of these ranged heroes, but yeah, right now it's AA. It's the fact that it's all about healing right now. You know, DK's gonna be your front line, very tanky, and then Phoenix with Sunray. Like AA, we've said it so many times. I'm sure every single viewer right now has heard the story of why AA is good. But yeah, it's just picked up in the second phase.
Me and AOI were talking, like, Spectre is seems to be much stronger laner than what you expect against the Timbersaw. So multiple games where Spectre just gets on top, you get level 6. If Timbersaw gets level 6 as well, you can go back to jungle, still contribute something to the team, be able to jump to Ancient Apparition. There isn't, like, maybe could be a bit tricky. Spectre doesn't like to play into AA, but if you are able to dodge it, they have... like Nyx Assassin stun that could potentially set things up, but I wouldn't mind seeing Spectre here.
Whoa, a Shadow Demon being picked up. That's out of the box for them. I'm surprised they didn't go for like their Kuro Enchantress that found them so much success at the Annie Major.
It potentially just going to be like a 4-position SD, playing with the DK, you put the 5 Phoenix, and in that case you're able to obviously make big stacks and efficiencies. And I feel like maybe you have to look towards still kind of the Spectre style hero for NIGMA. Like you buy Blade Mail, you farm up these stacks, and eventually you just play really well.
And much as how we saw in the T1 series with the Wyvern healing the Spectre, here you'd want the Sunray on the Spectre to keep her alive.
Any little bit of something just to throw in the mix will help out, and then Secret then go for a Phantom Lancer.
Looks good.
Yeah, it
Looks
does,
like a great Phantom Lancer game so far. They have 1 stun, so not too many things. Shadow Demon can make the illusions, Soul
And
Catcher
Shadow
is okay.
Poison's undispellable now.
That's true. That's also true. Maybe that's something that we didn't think completely through. So even if you use a doppelganger, you're still gonna be able to see which Phantom Lancer is real. So that's kind of a big deal.
The main thing here for Secret is because they have this Timber, it opens up the Nyx to play with the AA, to then play with a tri-lane with the PL. And PL, he hasn't had so many great games, specifically at the Major, just because of his inability to really have presence in the lane. But if you bring in that
Secret's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds.
That's right, it's time for TI Grand Final. Sorry, I was a little bit of the copium. Didn't go down so easy. No, this is actually day 2 elimination in the ESL One Summer 2021, powered by Intel. It's NIGMA versus Team Secret. And 2 teams that are, a little bit surprising to be here. We talked about expectations, reasonable expectations, TI qualifiers. But how's their gameplay been? We saw a little bit of Secret at the Annie Major. How'd you feel about them, Lacoste?
Definitely not the team secret that won 5-6 tournaments in a row. Something's just off with the team. I like that Zai talked about how they're still motivated, which I really like. They want to win. They want to show, maybe they're in TI form, but I want to see them bounce back.
I think they're haunted.
They're haunted.
They're haunted by the sound. Let me hear it again. I wasn't 100% sure what it was. That's terrifying. Secret are probably listening to that every night and like, oh my god, where's my TI Grand Finals? Puppy, where's your second TI Grand Finals? Is it because you keep picking Death Prophet? Is it because you keep picking Grimstroke? Is it because you keep picking Arc Warden? Or is it because you keep picking Necrophos? Ding 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 ding. It's Grimstroke. That's the Phantom's Embrace. Going over. It's about to silence all these people.
Well, I gotta tell you, I was wrong. It's one of my most played heroes. Maybe I just need a new headset because I was 100% sure that it's Arc Warden.
It wasn't turned on.
There we go. I couldn't hear it.
Yeah, I got you. No worries. Happens every time.
What did you think it was?
Arc Warden.
Yeah, we both.
He also thinks he's like,
we were tapping it. Yeah.
What did you think it was, like Flux?
No, the
Oh, the Spark Wraith.
Spark Wraith.
Okay,
that's what I was looking for. Again, it's gone to my head.
I'll give you that one.
Thank you.
They're actually...
They sound the same.
They look the same also.
Yeah, maybe they are actually the same sound.
Oh my god, get Sir Action Slice on the line. We need to find the lore.
I'm sure one person automatically just tested it. Like, no, just idiots. Very wrong. Oh well, happens.
Happens. Draft happens.
One thing I noticed, you scroll through Team NIGMA's draft. If you are not colorblind, you will see that every single time they have an orange hero picked in their last 15, maybe even 20 games.
Interesting.
So they open up with both of those. Phoenix plus a Dragon Knight, stun, team fight, good way of protecting the egg. On the other side, we have Nyx Assassin. T-Gov, you go now.
I mean, Nyx Assassin, it's a first pick hero. It mitigates quite a lot of these int heroes we saw previously in today and other series alone. It's pretty annoying to deal with, but I think how the meta has shifted, if you're mitigating the int heroes, you're not really dealing well with the kind of the overwhelming team fight and the run at you style. And that's why you see NIGMA go for this kind of red pick, because Phoenix and DK, they can play strong team fights and they can hit towers quite quickly. And the Secret go for a Timbersaw themselves. Double strength heroes, opening from NIGMA, so it just kind of, it opens up. Because I think the biggest weakness of Nyx Assassin is the fact that you, in the laning phase, it's like you don't really kill things too much unless you have a strong offlane, and realistically you want to go play a tri lane as quick as possible and just play for your carry.
He's also not a hero that if he's paired up with the Timber that can easily rotate and make stuff happen. You need to have boots of speed, need to get close to be able to get a stun. He's not that Earth Spirit type of a hero that can make a lot of things happen early on. So it's also Phoenix into Nyx Assassin, so that's a great thing. One thing I noticed about Team NIGMA is that they don't like to pick up a BKB when they're playing the same exact matchup on the Phoenix, which a lot of the Chinese players do. It's pretty much whether you're playing 4 or 5, there's going to be a BKB. It's all about that Sunray, so you don't care about the carapace.
Yeah, and Dr. Secret banning out the Luna once again. It was NIGMA was the team that really popularized the Luna into Timbersaw. It's what kind of carried them through, I believe, the tail end of wildcards and early group stage was that kind of matchup alone and how they were able to dominate the game. So yeah, NIGMA kind of dictating the meta of the bans at least.
Is there any other team that warrants a first phase Invoker ban right now in competitive Dota?
Hellbear Smashers before Storm Summer was removed from the team.
I think that's a product of the hero pools more than the strength of the players.
I gave you an answer, Tsunami.
You did. And my other question would have been, why isn't IO being banned? But it's because NIGMA tried to run it twice in their Viking GG series and it did not work.
Yeah, I think that, the main thing here is NIGMA yesterday, they were second pick both games, picked IO, and instantly responded by a Razor or a Timber style of draft. And here, NIGMA are second pick again, so I don't think they have that confidence in themselves playing into maybe that, or they just want to try something new, because it's a lower bracket, you lose the series, you're out the tournament, you're not going to have any chance of getting any further.
Team Secret just protecting the Timbersaw pick with Luna, Ursa. Ursa has been proven to be one of the best carry heroes. Opens up to Roche, opens up the second Roche. You have that big momentum coming out, picking up the Shard. Probably one of the best heroes to pick up the Shard from Roche on top of it. And yeah, they just want to be able
give Timbersaw a good early game so that he is able to scale. We saw what Timbersaw can do if they get the free farm from the laning stage.
Interesting thing here is about that Secret. Since playing at the Annie Major, I believe they haven't picked the same 2 heroes in an opening. So for the entire drafts of Major and then ESL Summer so far, it's never just been like the Mars Phoenix opening or the DK Phoenix opening. It's always been a different combination.
Something that we talked about, especially against like T1, EG, they have pretty similar openings. Lion Timber, DK Timber, DK Lion, TB DK, you name it. But they are aiming for these strong heroes that proven to be good. On the other side, Team Secret, as you mentioned, like they're just mixing things up. Sometimes it's Templar Assassin, sometimes it's a Broodmother, Lion, or Puck. They go with the Razor.
I like this ban from Secret the IO, respecting it in second phase, because NIGMA could very easily go IO into Gyro to have a strong lane into then what would be a Timber Nyx lane, and that kind of disrupts kind of the momentum of the game. So I like the fact that Secret respect a hero that NIGMA hasn't been doing so well on recently.
I would love to see, not maybe right now, but Lina for Team Secret, because you have a good matchup against the Razor. You have an Egg hitter against NIGMA. You have that burst damage. Did I say NIGMA or Egg? Burst damage against the Dragon Knight. But yeah, Lina seems really good. You also have someone to set things up. That's Nyx Assassin, possibly even Timbersaw going in, slowing them down.
Oh, okay. Second phase, Ancient Apparition. Often first phase ban, but yeah, with these 2 teams, it's slipping its entire way through.
Not really an egg hitter, though. All 3 of these heroes are terrible at taking care of Supernova.
They will probably, I think, like Lacoste mentioned, this idea of Alina does sound very good. Any of these ranged heroes, but yeah, right now as AA, it's the fact that it's all about healing right now. You know, DK's gonna be your frontline, very tanky, and then Phoenix with Sunray. Like AA, we've said it so many times. I'm sure every single viewer right now has heard the story of why AA is good. But yeah, it's just picked up in the second phase.
Me and AOI were talking, like, Spectre is seems to be much stronger laner than what you expect against the Timbersaw. So multiple games where Spectre just gets on top, you get level 6. If Timbersaw gets level 6 as well, you can go back to jungle, still contribute something to the team, be able to jump to Ancient Apparition. There isn't... like, maybe could be a bit tricky. Spectre doesn't like to play into AA, but if you are able to dodge it, they have like Nyx Assassin stun that could potentially set things up. But I wouldn't mind seeing Spectre here.
Shadow Demon.
Whoa, a Shadow Demon being picked up. That's out of the box for them. I'm surprised they didn't go for like their Kuro Enchantress that found them so much success at the Annie Major.
It's potentially just going to be like a 4-position SD. Playing with the DK, you put the 5 Phoenix, and in that case, you're able to obviously make big stacks and efficiencies. And I feel like maybe you have to look towards still kind of the Spectre style here for NIGMA. Like you buy Blade Mail, you farm up these stacks, and eventually you just play really well.
And much as how we saw in the T1 series with the Wyvern healing the Spectre, here you'd want the Sunray on the Spectre to keep her alive.
Any little bit of Sonic just to throw in the mix will help out, and then Secret then go for a Phantom Lancer.
Looks good.
Yeah, it does,
like a great Phantom Lancer game so far. They have one stun, so not too many things. Shadow Demon can make the illusions, soul,
and Shadow Poison's undispellable now.
That's true. That's also true. Maybe that's something that we didn't think completely through. So even if you use a doppelganger, you're still gonna be able to see which Phantom Lancer is real. So that's kind of a big deal.
The main thing here for Secret is because they have this Timber, it opens up the Nyx to play with the AA, to then play with a tri-lane with the PL. And PL, he hasn't had so many great games, specifically at the Major, just because of his inability to really have presence in the lane. But if you bring in that third hero, maybe, you know, minute 3, minute 4, and you're just killing things with Lance, with, you know, Chilling Touch, Cold Feet, Impale, like, you're going to have a decent time there, and you can kill pretty much anything if you all collapse on the same hero. So that's why I think the PL is kind of cushioned here a little bit, just because of the aggressiveness of both AA and Nyx in conjunction.
But why PL as opposed to the majority of other carries? So the reasons I see is good egg hitter, probably one of the best carries that doesn't necessarily have an attack speed steroid, but just being able to juxtapose off the egg is nice. I guess Razor doesn't have that much AoE damage to clear through your illusions.
Doesn't. Like, Dragon Knight gets some. I believe this is going to be an off-lane Dragon Knight, so what they're looking for is another mid laner that deals well with PL. It's a decent puck game. Well, they have a Razor, so I don't know where Razor is going, or if they want to like swap things around, put Dragonite on the safe lane, and that's something that NIGMA was doing.
Yeah, so NIGMA so far, they've run the Razor and the DK in off lane and also mid, so it's very dependent on what they see, because they have last pick in the draft.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm wrong here. I think they will be possibly going for the safe laner. Razor is very versatile. He can go to like all 3 lanes pretty much.
I think the key thing for Secret with their style of draft is they're going to be poking and prodding these engagements, but for NIGMA, they're the ones that, you know, DK with his Blink Initiation, potentially later down the line gets the AoE stun talent. Razor, if he looks onto the real PL, they can just collectively run down their opponent, because Secret doesn't really have much team fight and or stuns to mitigate a BKB hero running you down. So if PL ever enters the fight first and is kind of targeted, Secret will have some issues kind of rebuttaling that aggression, and that's why there's so much more emphasis on Secret to play out their lanes well, so they don't have that kind of onslaught of NIGMA aggression coming into like minute 15, 16. And the kind of the SD pick also complements that for NIGMA, right? The defensive nature, save that one hero.
Secret just protecting this Phantom Lancer with 2 last bans because of the versatility from Team NIGMA. They think it should be an offlaner that NIGMA will be picking up.
Miracle did play Sand King mid at the very beginning of DPC Season 2.
It was super popular in Southeast Asia at the start of the 2nd season. We were, you know, doubters. We didn't really like it. It was good in a couple of games, but he doesn't really scale. And there's the Lina ban that we mentioned would be a great pickup for Team Secret, so they need to think of something else that goes from the mid lane. They go with the Void Spirit. Okay, I like that, you know, but both of these supports don't deal well. They don't have any kind of stuns and anti-mage.
Wow. All right. So yeah, so Team Secret, they go for the Void Spirit just to give themselves some more backline jump and some fight, and also you can kind of, with one item, you're already playing with the Nyx, the AA, and just invading the jungle and fighting. But yeah, NIGMA, they go with they feel the confidence in their ability to take these earlier fights 4v5, and they pick up an anti-mage. And every time you see anti-mage in the game, it's if you can win a fight or survive fights 4v5, anti-mage can look good. There isn't any stuns really here, but it does.
There's double mana burn, which AM does not like to play into, so that could be a bit tricky, but they have ways of buffing him up, like you can get a Soul Catcher, you have a Razor who can play extremely fast early on, like get any items we saw in the previous series where Razor gets a first item BKB, it just buys enough time for Spectre to come online, so it could be a thing here as well.
And the key thing here is Timber can't really be left alone. We mentioned a lot of the idea of Nyx moving with the AA to enable the PL. If AM is left alone with the Timber doesn't really have any mana, he's not going to have fun kind of pressuring that lane. So it's going to be a real key thing, like maybe you do an aggressive tri-lane to deal with the AM, don't just put the Timber into that lane, because that is a losing lane. So laning setups and how they enter the game is really critical if Secret want to have a good stead in this game.
Alright, well, let's see how game number 1 goes down. Team NIGMA and Team Secret.
Thank you, panel. God, I wish I could eat while I can.
That is exactly what I was thinking.
My good, can we get a burger delivered to the studio, please?
Can we get a bag of chips over here?
Yeah, I'm sure people would absolutely love that. But yeah, we have game 1 of Team Secret versus Team NIGMA. Mr. Jenk, we have an anti-mage. I don't know if I've ever been so excited to see this here, because I remember from TI1, everyone hated watching this hero because it was in literally every single game. But it's been a while, my friend. It's been a while.
Yeah, now nobody plays it, but I do think that, you know, compared to before, it's a good hero. Mana Break now does his percentage damage, so he scales so incredibly well into the late game against heroes like Timber and Void Spirit, who are going to have huge mana pools to abuse. But with that being said, once again, these are 2 drafts where I don't see any like really abusable things on either side, other than maybe the fact that Team Secret don't exactly have good tower pushers for the early game. So I think NIGMA can probably take some sort of a map advantage with the Dragonite.
Okay, well, we'll have to wait and see, I guess, but NIGMA obviously doing very well at the major, kind of fell flat in that first upper bracket match against, I believe it was Viking, and they have to stay alive here. I mean, it's weird to see Secret and Team NIGMA in the lower brackets so early. That's probably the biggest shock of the tournament so far. Of course, Secret has kind of fallen off in the past couple months, which is kind of sad to see considering how much dominance that they were kind of showing for the last, I want to say, year. Like, really bad timing for them with TI being postponed, because they would have been the favorites, I feel like. But I don't even know what to blame for it. You know, I feel like any time
you try to justify it rationally, it's like it just kind of sounds like you're making excuses for these like teams that were once top teams. There's an element to like, I think all of the other regions have gotten better too. Like I definitely feel it in NA where the tier 2 teams are a lot closer to the tier 1 teams, and the tier 1 teams have gotten a lot better because there's this constant practice going on throughout the season.
Right. As Kuro getting blocked in, a good impale, try to set up the cold feet, will be successful, but Secret not able to actually finish off Kuroku right now. And Miracle will be playing the Razor, so we've been seeing a lot more Razor recently. We've talked about it last game, or last series I should say, kind of bounced around in terms of position. We've seen it 1, 2, and 3. Will be the mid laner this time. Not the typical Miracle hero that we see from time to time. As you see a nice stun here from Yapsor, but Miracle is kind of this guy that you want mid playing like these mobile heroes. We talk about this all the time with like these really high mechanically skilled players, but I mean, what can he do on Razor, Jenkins?
You know, you say that, but I've seen a lot of Quinn playing this Razor, and
I mean, Quinn's been playing Viper as well. He's been playing all the boring heroes.
Yeah, but he plays them like they're fast heroes. As Kuroki just gets chased away here. Yeah, we have this aggro tri-lane coming out from
Impale. Secret is up. Gonna get it off with that cold feet, so this will be first blood going the way of Secret. It was just a matter of time there. Actually expended the salve as well, so a lot of economical damage done to Kuroki specifically.
A fairly typical play against the anti-mage to run this aggro try. GH doing some crazy wrap around here.
Yeah, that's
1 minute in. I mean, I guess
early.
I guess it's a 1v1 top, so you don't just, you don't want to just sit with like a DK versus a Timbersaw as a Shadow Demon. He's got level 1 disruption, so GH doesn't really feel like he has anything to do right now other than just stack up camps, which is exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, but once he gets that Shadow Poison, that's when he can really stack those camps.
Hell yeah.
That's when you love to have a Shadow Demon on your team. But we are not there yet because, like you said, he has the disruption, which, I mean, it's going to be a save. This is one of my favorite supports to watch in a game of Dota because you have the save. You can, use that as an offensive spell to gain illusions if there's a good illusion here, which PL is to some degree at least. And his ult can scale extremely well with an Aghanim Scepter if you're actually able to get farm, which the hero is able to get farm in the jungle if you let him. So that's actually going to be the case. We'll see as a lot of damage being done to mind control here. Of course, we've seen this matchup so many times, the Timber versus Dragon Knight, and Dragon Knight doesn't fare too well.
This is one of those matchups where Timber has a lot of kill threat, but if for whatever reason you... Oh, just TP's out. If for whatever reason, if you can't kill the Dragon Knight, he does just regen up. So mind control is doing quite well in this lane so far, compared to I think how people would expect. But it does get a lot worse once Timber gets some levels, especially with the Chakram. It's unlaneable.
Yeah, they're very even on CS, like you said. See that ILTW went for the early Ring of Health. No big surprise there. Didn't quite go the Gremlo style with 0 items into Ring of Health, but perhaps he hasn't seen those replays yet.
They've definitely watched them, but I think it's just more of an offlaning thing. ILTW knows.
I see.
If he was an offlane anti-mage, he would be going for Ring of Health first and possibly for a Meteor Hammer. It's not funny.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see if Meteor Hammer is on the list of anti. I feel like this is the one hero in Dota, the build basically has never changed. We saw some Vanguards at some point in history. We saw, some Vlads even, the Ring of Tarask as well, as we're going to see GH take a little bit of harassment here, but that Cold Feet does connect. But back to the tri-lane we go for Team NIGMA, but yeah, will be the Treads Battle Fury, so real shocker. But what do you think of as we get to like mid-game and beyond?
It's one of those ones. I don't know if they can kill him unless they trap him here.
Good attempt there. Probably taking a lot of damage though. But GH taking more damage in turn. Matu completely out of mana, which you have to come to expect. You're playing against an AM.
So Anti-Mage can definitely accelerate and get to like 3 to 4 items before PL can, but PL has this really nice Diffusal Blade timing where Anti-Mage can't do anything, and then late, like super late game, if they have equal items, I think that a PL will very likely kill an Anti-Mage. You just drain his mana. AM can't really clear through the illusions very easily. Doesn't build a Mjolnir. Battle Fury doesn't quite do enough. But if you do get the jump on him and you mana break the PL, he goes stat item, so he does have high mana. So it's one of those things that matter. It really matters like how the game is going for either of these heroes.
Yeah, and AIM is just one of those heroes that feels like you need to get off to, like once you get that Battle Fury, your farming speed with the blink, just going through the jungle, you can accelerated higher than most carries. But there is a timing, because at certain point AM does fall off. But we're talking about late game, of course. The tier 5 items and whatnot, Jenkins.
Yes, of course.
We can hope for that as usual.
Yeah, that's where you would become the analyst and I would become the play-by-play.
I mean, I have a lot of experience with it, as you know.
I gotta say, playing Pog with you and your friends was a horrible experience, and it made me realize I don't know what to do past 60 minutes.
And that's all I know what to do is past
Yes,
60 minutes.
absolutely.
But Matu now, in terms of CS, 27-7 versus ILTW's 22-3, so he's getting better at that exchange despite being out of mana constantly because of that harassment. And I think just based on that, and across the lanes with the Timbersaw doing well as well, you see Secret with a bit of a lead here. Chakram, you can see the level 6 is there now for Zai, but not able to find a kill as of yet. You see a disruption, trying for the block again, but Matu has the doppelganger, so we'll be safe.
Yeah, no, I mean, not much kill threat with this like aggro tri-lane from NIGMA. It's, I mean, they have 0 stuns, unless you want to consider disruption a stun. So really nothing they can do to stop PL from walking away other than just slowly chipping them down.
What are your thoughts on... Oh, I have to wait here. I have a very stupid question and topic to talk about.
I like these ones.
What do you think of Ags on Shadow Demon versus PL? The break mechanic, basically. And you get 3 of them.
Does it follow when he jumps?
That's, well, mind control's gonna get pressured here. We're gonna see some TP come in, as it is GH, the man we're talking about. I mean, it disables the ult and disables, actually, I'm not sure if it disables his 3rd spell, but disables the ult, right? So you can't create new illusions,
yeah,
but you have doppelganger still.
Yep.
It doesn't dispel the Shadow Demon ult.
Okay, then, I mean, that seems pretty good. Anything that...
And you get 3 of them. Right?
Anything that stays on the original PL after doppel is a way of countering him.
Mind control. He is in dragon form, and he has to be pretty careful, though, because Zai can obviously burst him down if to get the right combo here. Miracle, as the Invis rune, pops it and walks towards mid. See if he can set anything up here, but there's nobody in the vicinity. We see some stacks come out again. As Secret already with a 2k net worth lead at 7 minutes, Jenkins.
Yeah, I think that's mainly this... It's mainly Timbersaw versus DK, but they are winning all 3 lanes.
Oh, Miracle's going to pop his ult, has the static link applied to Nisha. See, that should be able to burst him down. The Aether Remnant does come out, but that ult for Miracle, more than enough damage, but he might get gone on here. Yapzor misses the Impale. Kind of pressured here. Still a lot of damage from Miracle. He has to be careful. GH is in the vicinity. Doesn't even need to save Miracle now, as he just walks out just fine. Really that was a Miracle literally just walked and killed.
Yeah, well, he did it because he saw that he had no mana to use his W or his Astral Step. Like, Miracle looked at his mana, calculated that he had enough for maybe the Aether Remnant, but not enough for either the Dissimilate or Astral Step. So that's just like, that's just big brain stuff for Miracle there.
Haste.
I mean, because like there was like a 20 mana window. Yeah, look at this. He even has a bottle charge, so he could bottle, but the Razor's constantly doing damage, so it's not going to happen. Yeah. So he sees that he's got like 70 mana, and he knows the mana cost of these abilities.
Yeah, so Miracle ends up getting the solo, and he doesn't even die for it. That's kind of crazy, considering how many heroes actually rotated for Secret. Basically cut the lead in half as a result of that. We see the disruption here onto Nisha. Okay, we're just praising Miracle. Now he walks into 3 heroes. See Kuroki trying to save him as Miracle gets off this plasma field. You have to think Nisha should be able to finish him off, and indeed he does.
And this is the one-on situation all over again, isn't it? Alright, no praising players, because then they immediately die after the replay.
Very true. Kuroki trying to dodge the Aether Remnant, does so successfully. But Nisha has an Astral Step, and that'll be enough. So double kill for Nisha after getting solo killed by Miracle. So kind of just wrap that back around as Mind Control now taking tons of damage from Zai, who's basically out of mana. Still has a Soul Ring and Arcane Boots up, though. And GH TP's in to support.
Zai is huge in this game. The thing is, though, he doesn't really want to pressure this top tower because it doesn't get much for him. Oh, so he just walks over and he steals the stacks instead.
Oh, yeah. That feels very good. If he's able to actually finish these off, GH is in the vicinity, though, gets the disruption. Mind Control, Dragon Form is available. As you see the jumping onto Miracle, this would be a huge kill for Secret, and they just blow him up right off the bat. And now Puppy's being the one that Mind Control focuses on. I think if you're Secret, you're more than happy with this exchange.
Zai doesn't even bother with Mind Control. He's too tanky.
And the stack is still up, and this is where Zai can really do a lot of economical damage, because this took some time for NIGMA to actually set up. Mind Control gets the Breathe Fire off, but it's only level 1. The Shadow Poison does help quite a bit here, and the Dragon Tail to follow. It's hard, tough to tell who actually got DPC's last hit.
This is the most hilarious interaction. It just goes to show how both teams at this point lack the damage to kill either a Dragon Knight or a Timbersaw, who are both effectively the same hero at this point, right? With the passive.
That's true, yeah.
Like, look how aggressively Zai is positioning. Nobody can kill him, but on the other side, Mind Control can kind of do the same thing. Although he's doing it top.
As we can see, the
is under attack.
the neutral creeps and ancients, so looks like Zai got the better of that for sure. As Miracle's in a lot of trouble again. They're going to just burst him down, trying to get healed. Nice save from GH, but will it be enough to dissimulate? Finishes off Miracle. Another death for him, and the Astral Step takes out GH in turn.
That was amazing spellcasting from Zai there. Just the fact that he drew the Chakram towards Puppey and then walked back towards Miracle, chaining through, pulling the Chakram through, so it did a double hit on the hero that was disrupted, and also getting the follow-up kill. Like, it's just a Timbersaw player thing right there. That was nice.
Yeah, so the mid tier 1 is down in favor of Secret. It's a 4K net worth lead at 11 minutes. And again, I mean, talk to me about this, where obviously we talked about Team NIGMA having a really good showing at the major. How much of this is experimentation? I mean, it's an AM. We don't get to see that hero all too often. How much is this them just kind of being lost right now to some degree? Which again, this is their own admission in a post-game interview at the major that they got figured out.
Look at the chain.
Yeah.
Did I say Puppey? I meant GH.
That's fine. Everybody knew what you were talking about.
This pleases
Jenkins.
me to no end.
There he is. Well, technically, I mean,
Radiant structures.
no, there's no
fortified.
technically. That was GH.
Radiant
Anyway, what was the question you asked?
I forgot already. Is GH speaking of which?
No!
Yep, the curse is
Dire's middle
real.
tower is under
The
attack.
question was, well, we have to wait again because Secret are just relentless
Radiant's
here,
bottom
just continuing
tower has fallen.
to beat down on Team NIGMA, have control of the jungle essentially now. Took that tier 1 bottom as well, so tower advantage 2-0. But yeah, basically, how much of this is Team NIGMA? Why am I even talking about anything else right now? It's Miracle, again, the double astral step. Nobody in remotely close for NIGMA, as Secret are just dominating right now. Back to my questions.
If you want action, just start asking me a question.
That's true.
If you want somebody to die, then start praising them. Oh, Mind Control with the absolutely amazing... Anyway, what were you saying?
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
How much of this is them experimenting versus just
Radiant
not playing well in the last week?
fortified.
You know, I don't like the experimenting excuse anymore, just because I kind of feel like the Animajor in general, there's a lot of like experimentation happening within each series.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
a lot of people were really innovating this Holy Locket Eon Disc stuff. Like nobody thought a couple of weeks back that we'd be talking about how OP these items are. In fact, Holy Lockets was a complete meme back then. So it's like everything is experimentation at this point. So it's just... It seems like, you know, Secret's winning. They just have a better grasp of the current meta.
Yeah, Mind Control showing off that Blink Dagger. They're going to get the kill, but it is only Puppey. But if they can get the tier 1, it'll be pretty nice. Zai TP's in to defend. See if he can be successful. As we have a counter smoke now from Secret onto 2 members, including Nisha. They're going to try to backstab here.
He's mine.
I think they might have to give it the tower, but they might get some kills here to make up for it. It's Miracle. That's the Chakram. Astral Step just misses. Simulate to follow, though, into the Resonant Pulse. The double impale, beautifully done. Secret, with that Astral Step, ends up finishing off Miracle yet again, and the egg is a super easy kill. And now Mind Control getting chased down. And Jenkins, this is turning into a true shellacking. There's going to be 4 dead as Secret. They even defended that tier 1 tower. I thought that would be dead for sure. I mean, ILTW obviously can't show up to fight because he doesn't even have his Battle Fury yet. Still 300 away.
Yep, but
Not looking good for them right now.
Matamba TP's in, realizing that there is this opportunity to defend the tower as long as he TPs. They needed his damage. Zai standing in front of it it's something. It's a wall, but on top of that, you need damage, and so he TPs in, he gets active. He knows Anti-Mage can't do that on the other side, and it results in a free tower and 4 kills. Or keeping the tower alive, I should say.
Yeah, and Matu, I believe he has his Diffusal being delivered, has the casual Ring of Hell, so we'll be going for a Hood next to get extra tanky. It feels like when you're PL, like this is obviously a much cheaper item than Battle Fury, but you can start fighting at least, right?
Yeah.
At least to some respect.
Yeah, I think so. Diffusal's, I mean, such a solid item these days. The stats on it are ridiculous for the cost. It's a little bit worse on Illusion Heroes, but whenever you're against these heroes like Razor, AM, and DK that just use their mana but have really low mana pools, it's still a god tier item on these illusion heroes.
Yeah, so right now, Secret just completely dominating in this first game of the best of 3. And remember, the loser of this series is out of the tournament. And this is the first round of the lower bracket. Zai, very, very difficult to kill right now.
I like that Miracle.
These creep.
He's going for BKB first instead of some other items. Like a lot of the time, you'll see some Yasha BKB or like a Yule's BKB on the Razor mid, because you know those items, they help you farm, they help you be a little bit more active, and it's not just about team fighting. But at this point, Miracle's not able to like walk out and farm, and he's not able to survive without the BKB. So he knows that he's going to need to be fighting soon, and the only way that he's going to do that without immediately feeding in every fight is with the BKB. So he's got no choice but to basically rush it in this game.
Fine. Fortification is used, and the siege is surviving for now with Matu. Continuing to pound away.
Bottom tower is under attack.
I mean, looking at the mini-map, I don't even think they're defending this.
Just a solo PL at 16 minutes taking the tower. This is one of the most underrated things about this hero, I think. That you can...
Here they come.
You can tank the tower with illusions like this. This is the BSJ classic. He's very biased. He'd love to pass this game. Loves Europe.
I love how that's just turning into a meme now. It's just good stuff. Yeah, a tier 2 tower at 16.5 minutes, so the outpost control will be the way of Secret as well. Just adding insult to injury with the extra XP to come per minute.
Is under attack.
What does NIGMA need to do? Obviously, they need that Battle Fury, which he should have, right? Yeah, so he has that. But when can AM fight? I feel like, I mean, historically speaking, it's after Manta, and even then you don't want to fight.
I can tell you what they need to do, and I believe it's about to happen. I think Mind Control needs to get this mid tower, just blink and take it. With the dragon form, he's in a good position to do it. It might be worth suiciding for. Maybe this is a Gremlo strat right now. But he's already farming so dangerously, and I think you need to make space for AM, and you need some... You need the map to be open for the AM to farm. You need the map to be open for you to split push.
Is this like a poor man's Leshrac move?
It's kind of a poor man's Leshrac, yeah, absolutely.
On a very long cooldown, and Nisha jumps in with the actual step, gets the Yules into the Aether Remnant. There is an egg on the other side, though. Question is, can Miracle be bursted down before the egg pops? Astral step. There's the stun from the egg. He's getting healed for now. Might be able to turn this around, but no, Miracle is the first to fall in this engagement. Nisha looks like he will be the trade, and I think at this stage, NIGMA will take that, but it's going to cost them Kuroki as well. But there's the mana burn, ILTW. Gets that mana void off. He's finally come to fight a bit here. I mean, again, it's not really his problem because this is how AM plays. Just has to go back to farming. I mean, he's not that much... Feels like he's not that useful until he gets Manta.
Yeah, he's doing his thing. You can never blame an AM. If you lose before this point, it's just.
So you can blame them for picking AM.
You can, yeah, you definitely can do that, and I honestly would do that on this patch, quite a bit. But this is NIGMA, so.
True.
I would be careful flaming ILTW in a pub.
Yeah. Probably a good move. I mean, it's a good thing you live in the NA. You don't have to worry about that usually.
Well, my aim would already be down mid, so I wouldn't have to worry because...
That's true. That is the NA classic.
There would be no threat. He just does it.
Well, what about the Roche capability for Secret? It's not a whole lot of minus armor or anything like that to take him quick, so it feels like it's kind of methodical approach right now from Secret.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, can do damage to the Roche, and when that's your best option, you just take map control, which is what they're doing.
Yeah, NIGMA, 4-man smoke right now.
Huh, Kuroki's not there. This is interesting. They look like they're looking for some sort of solo pick here because I don't know if this... You need Kuroki here for the damage. And Matum is not going to die to these two heroes.
Yep, that is true. He's going to get Dragon Tail to start, though, getting mana burn to a high degree, gets the Doppelganger off. Mana Void does basically nothing, and they're going to try to turn this around to Mind Control now, getting completely surrounded with all these illusions, and the Aether Remnant is there to lock him down, and you're right, they weren't able to take out Matu.
Thank God, I was about to look like such an idiot.
GH. Oh, there's the Yules just at the right moment. AA blocks coming in. Impale. Goodbye. 8K net worth lead for Secret, and yeah, this is still continuing on to be a shellacking.
I think with a smoke play like that,
Radiant
oh man, you don't. Your only disable is the Dragonite stun, which to be fair, it's a good stun. I think in order to kill PL, you need the Razor to be there. In order to kill Timber, I legit don't think that's happening. I think Zai is unkillable in this game. He would need to be completely out on his own.
Yeah, that mana void was... I mean, he was pretty low on mana. He just doesn't have that much mana capacity to begin with.
Good itemization and good skilling by Matumba. He's got the 150 health talent. He has Hooded Defiance. He went for the full magic wand before he completed the Yasha. Like, this guy's playing to fight and to be tanky.
Yeah, and that's exactly how you have to play against an AM, because it gets pretty scary if it ends up being a pretty even game, as we see Kuroki getting initiated on, and yeah, the AA blast was not even close to being needed. It wasn't close to being either.
That's a pretty juicy stack, though. That's a big boy. Taking those stacks.
Big juicy boy for sure.
Yeah.
Gets the bounty as well, so ILTW will be happy with that at the very least. I mean,
stacking up his own AO. Look at that.
Yeah. That didn't quite stack. As Nisha is here. All right. We have the Yules. Astral Step. And the Remnant will connect. ILTW just going to TP out. It looks like he'll be fine. And not enough lockdown. Yapzor wasn't quite close enough. Speaking of Yapzor, going for the tried and true Aghanim Scepter. And actually gets the neutral item. I forget what that's called. I always forget the name. That gives you the... Oh, he actually dropped it. The extra GPM. Yeah, the Philosopher's Stone. I need to think Harry Potter.
The Philly Stone.
Philly?
Just think of...
Philly cheesesteak stone?
Philly cheesesteak. I was going to say a brand, but if you were to sponsor ESL, I would have said you on there. You know who you are.
Yeah, yeah.
You have great steak and cheese, and your Chipotle sauce is delicious.
Wow.
But I will not say your name.
Delicious indeed.
Unless you sponsor ESL.
Man, yeah.
DreamHack.
Tsunami made me really hungry, eating chips on pan. I think that should be banned from now on.
I agree.
Just for that alone.
I think he should be banned for eating chips.
That's true. Unacceptable. Everybody else should be able to eat, though.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me what Team NIGMA have to do, Jenkins. Try to make it as simple as possible for my little brain.
Okay. They need to fight with Anti-Mage BKB and blow up the PL at the start of the fight.
Okay, so they need BKB first.
I think yes. I think they're going to need to do that in a team fight.
And boom! All right, not as much burst damage as I thought.
A little bit underwhelming. A little bit underwhelming there with the Kaboom.
Well, the Kaboom... If it was a Culling Blade, I would have went ham.
Yeah.
It wasn't that fancy. Oh, Spike Carapace is going to set this up into the Impale with the ult from Zai, and another death for Miracle. And this is why Nyx is banned so often. This hero just feels ridiculous right now. It's GH getting gone on, and we'll be fit. Zai, A-Blast coming in, not going to connect on ILTW, who's now burned Zai's... Okay. Yeah, the mana burn.
You guys going to play the game?
Yeah.
I'm glad that Nick has something to say about this game at the very least, because I really don't. This is a stomp and a half, I'll tell you what.
I got something to say.
Please do.
I like Zai's build. He went for Kayan Sanj, as we can of course see in this 1x bet impact move. But of course, it's not about Zai. This is about Yapzor.
Yeah,
it's beautiful Carapace on a Miracle, and he just dies. So that's what we've seen on camera for him. This game is a lot of nothing. And this happens on Razor. He can feel pretty bad still to fall behind. I think when you fall behind pre-BKB, that's when the hero feels really bad. But after you have the BKB, like after you have like 1 or 2 items, if you fall behind, it doesn't feel anywhere near as bad. But like this is the point where he's basically coming off here and on Razor spamming the hero. It happens if you die a few times like this.
Yeah, definitely feels rough. You don't have a built-in comeback mechanic of any kind. I mean, you can steal the enemy carry's damage, I guess, but it is a PL, and he's pretty hard to catch. This ILTW watch, yeah. I agree, though, that the BKB is needed, but it feels like if you're waiting for that, the lead is just going to grow in favor of Secret even more. Of course, they have the Aegis advantage now as well.
True. But the problem is you have no map to farm anyway, so it's like, even if you build other items on Razor, you can't farm anything with it. It's not like, you know, Leshrac that can be cheeky and like push out waves and sidelines, especially when you have this Treads build. ILTW is the hero that's doing that anyway. Like they're putting all of their eggs in the ILTW basket right now, and you know, Anti-Mage, he does have a timing that he's really strong once he has his BKB. There's still potential for winning in these fights if they can get the right jump.
And Monty's going to run right into Miracle, gets the defusal off. He's already at half HP, has to pop the BKB. A blast coming in, not going to connect though. Attempts to TP out, but okay. That's a lot of damage from Yapzor. Vendetta for the win.
It's under attack.
And another death for Miracle, but it looks like this tier 1 tower, it fall? No, it's deniable though. So technically it will finally fall.
I remember what I was going to say about Zai's build.
Okay.
He did the Cayenne Sange and disassemble into Bloodstone, which I really like. It's a pretty typical thing these days, but it's just made him so damn tanky. We saw the attempted mana break on him. It just did not look good. This man he's got 3,000 HP.
Well, Matu still has Aegis for 3 minutes. We see Zai with the flamethrower thanks to that shard, so buildings will take some damage now. And I believe Nisha also has an Aghanim Scepter, so that adds a second charge to Resonant Pulse and gives you a silence for each one. They are extremely strong right now.
Yeah, that's a really big deal against these NIGMA supports. They currently have no way of taking off the silence, and they have spells that are really important to get off in these team fights. GH with the save and Kuroki with the egg. Like if these don't get cast in the fights, I don't think there's any way NIGMA wins.
Yeah, playing pretty disciplined for Secret right now. 11k net worth lead like we talked about, but don't want to use the Aegis quite yet. Still a couple minutes to go, so likely we'll just regroup, get some health. Nisha, the setup onto ILTW with the Vendetta. Impale, AA Blast. Goodbye, my friend. Goodbye.
This, I'm going to be totally honest here, okay? Let me put this down and see if you pick it up. Okay. This looks like my pub anti-mages. They last pick the anti-mage, and then you wait the whole game for them, and it's just suffering. And then they die once.
Tower is under attack.
They ping you.
Well, yeah, but it's always after there's like a chance for them to have the epic comeback. Because you don't pick this hero to like win in the early game. You pick this hero to lose and then eventually have the epic superhero comeback.
Okay.
And then the anti-mage gets to be the big star of the show that everybody congratulates at the end. And then it never works. It's always like a James Bond thing. Like you have to be the sole guy that wins the game. But then this happens.
Yeah. No, that's a pretty good comparison. Nisha jumps in. The Aether Remnant didn't connect on anybody. See the AA Blast coming in. Will only hit GH. But this is a dead barracks with no AM for 15 seconds, so all NIGMA can do is kind of just poke for now. Yeah, this will be a freebie, but of course they still have the Aegis. It's another minute to go, so they will likely... they still have tier 2's top and middle. I guess they'll have to go for that first.
Radiant's bottom barracks has fallen.
Tumba going for the Brian Canavan build. Sociopath is the name. He's constantly, you know, poking and attacking from afar, which is a very sociopathic thing to do to somebody.
When do you get Octarine? As we're going to see Miracle likely die. Okay, nice save from GH. Turn down. They're going to jump in with the DK. All right, let's see if NIGMA can wake up here. As Yapzor is going to be the first to fall. So 5 versus 4. Matu. He still has Aegis. Finally get rid of it. Oh my god, Nisha with the double kill out of nowhere. That Resonant Pulse Aghanim Scepter is beyond bonkers. Triple kill for him. GH is going to have to sacrifice himself. Is ILTW the lone remaining member alive here?
Just a simple thing in that fight that I find interesting is the fact that Nisha uses the double Resonant Pulse just for the damage there. Like obviously you don't get it doesn't extend the silence duration or anything, so usually what happens is the Void Spirits will go in, Resonant Pulse, wait until the silence is gone, and then do it again. But he just opted like, okay, the entire enemy team is grouping up here, I'm just going to double silence for the damage, and it ends up being so incredibly devastating as like a double nuke.
Pretty cool. So what do you think went wrong, other than the AM pick, which you're not liking, obviously? Was there something that they could have changed with the lanes, and we can see some cleanup kills here for Secret? I'm not casting this, by the way. This game is over.
Okay.
I'm not going to pretend that it's completely over.
Okay, GH. He is ice. Listed walking towards the fountain. Doesn't heal him. He is ice. Please, analysts, be quiet. I'm not done casting.
Okay. Keep
what do they do? I mean, I think Secret with the aggro tri-lane was a really good call. Putting the Timbersaw versus the Dragon Knight. I mean, I would imagine NIGMA expected it, considering this is how the Dragon Knight got countered in the Animager, and they were still okay with it. So maybe they a bit underestimated how good that matchup was going to be for Zai, and also how good the tri-lane was going to go for the side of Secret.
Right.
So I think the laning setup needed to probably change, and then obviously if you're picking an anti-mage in this patch, they're trying it. It's not an excuse. It's not one of those things where it's like, oh, they would have destroyed if they hadn't picked the anti-mage. But it's like, you have to test heroes to see if they work. There's no way that you can theory craft things working or not. As much as some people say that they can, nobody can.
The last stand for NIGMA, you can see ILTW has the BKB now. How much damage can he do is the question. A-Blast comes in, clips a couple of heroes. There's the Mana Void, but it did some damage, just not enough to actually secure themselves a kill. I mean, they're down 23k. It's going to be pretty hard to even get one at this stage, I feel like. Miracle. He's gonna get. You can see the range of the impale from Mr. Yaps. Whereas this game is going to be coming to an abrupt end. Well, this wasn't really abrupt, actually. I take that back. It was quite slow. This was an elongated and painful game one for Team NIGMA. Secret. The reason it went on so long is because they just don't have the best building pushing. They don't. No. It's just a flamethrower.
Whenever's your best building hitter, your pushing's not so good.
That's true. But, they eventually got the throne actually explode. I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was I would call this a monumental shellacking, probably.
This was probably between Mega and Monumental.
Yeah, not quite Gaben, and nope. we did add a couple. I don't think we actually tweeted it, but there's a Gaben's mustache that's above
Gaben level. We've only awarded that to like 1 or 2.
Right, and then there was a Gaben top hat,
which is 1,
which is the top of the top.
Yeah, which was Arkosh Gaming.
No, that's not true.
Yeah, okay.
No, we actually I cast a game that was a top hat Gaben shellacking at the major.
Really? Which one was that?
It was the game where, what team was it? They had like 3 kills the entire game.
Oh God!
Remember, and Cinderin was maniacally laughing because I said,
"Was it no?
It wasn't as bad as it." No, it wasn't no thing. I have to go back and look at what that was. But yeah, this was not even remotely close. But I'm interested to see what the panel has to say about AM, if that actually was the issue, or if there's something underlying that they can probably go over. So over there.
Clockwork's in one lane, DK's in another. They're going to be able to jump that hero, get the A blast connecting with, and they will have this kill threat. The nice thing as well is Clockwork, the cogs, when Darkseid is playing, it's all about movement. I think any hero that has a way to mitigate that movement, be it like a Rupture, an Arena, a cogs, it really does reduce the impact that like Surge in this game has.
Yeah, this is why NIGMA also banned out the puck in the first phase. They were very prepared. Okay, new hero.
Is it going to be Venge Drow or Venge Medusa? I would assume Medusa just because of the clock. You don't really want to pick Drow into these heroes.
Venge was completely uncontested at the Animator, I believe. I think
for the Aeroblade. Okay.
Okay.
Very cool.
Still taking advantage of the minus armor, sure.
And it should be a strong lane. Like Vengeful Spirit plus a Reflection in the lane is very annoying. Just that one value point in the laning stage coming up from the Reflection. The slow gives you a kill setup, gives you that kill threat potentially as well. You have a way of buffing up the Terrorblade, swapping him out of the trouble, swapping people out of the cogs.
I will say that the key thing is Wraith King is a kind of very weak against Terrorblade in the essence of the kind of the big team fights. Terrorblade spawns illusions, just locks him down. Wraith King can't really get through that, and he needs like 3-4 items to actually kill Terrorblade, unless he like crushes laning phase and has a 1 item advantage and just kind of sweeps through the map, you know, minute 20 plus and just steals the jungle away. So, yeah, Secret is a lot of emphasis on they need to play that aggressive style that we saw in game 1, the A, the clock pairing together very quickly, and then just try and collapse these early towers with DK.
They have tower damage with the Wraith King, almost said Skeleton King, plus a Dragon Knight. They need some kind of magical burst damage to deal with the illusions, to deal with the Terrorblade. Once again, we go back to Lina pick. It just, in my opinion, every single time I see, like, you need to check a lot of the boxes, Lina comes to my mind.
I guess a nice thing as well is the fact that Secret, their way of killing someone, it's all single target spells. You know, the hook shot, the Dragon Tail, the Wraith King stun, the A ultimate, like, all of this. One swap on that hero that's getting jumped, Venge might die as a repercussion of that, but then the cores are still alive, that post-fight, Secret will be lacking the kind of the lockdown to really take that secondary fight. So I think I actually kind of like the development of at least strategy from NIGMA. Again, they need to be able to execute this because so far ESL Summer they have been a little bit underwhelming, but this kind of approach to this is very good.
They do ban that Ember Spirit that I mentioned, makes a lot of sense. They don't have anything that could like just burn the shield early on, and great partner with the Darkseer, limited the lockdown. Dragon Knight provides you with some, but still might not be able to burst him down. And what Team Secret banned in the previous game when they had Phantom Lancer, the Illusion hero, Sand King and Underlord, same thing NIGMA doing in game 2.
Now NIGMA most likely looking for their Miracle Hero, and it seems like they've already gotten most of their boxes checked. I don't know if they're looking for something to, I don't know, play with the Terrorblade. The Razor is still in the pool if you want it against the Wraith King.
Yeah, Razor's somewhat okay. Again, they don't have last pick of their draft. That's where the DK can instantly just be flexed away from that lane if required. So there's a difficult spot. Like, that's why, you know, Secret happily bans Invoker first phase, because it's comfort of just picking the hero and knowing there's no real counters. I think Leshrac is actually still
available.
Leshrac
seems fine. Gives you that early tower damage that Team Secret has with the Dragon Knight pick. So Leshrac doesn't have too many bad matchups. I mean, if they go with the Lina Team Secret, it's still Lina favored matchup, so they are staying one step ahead. Of course, they have the last pick. So how much do they have? 40 seconds left.
40 seconds.
Does Miracle?
Ten seconds remaining. Dire teams remaining.
О, я тут же поиграл. Это же my signature.
I hope you were enjoying that Donkey Kong for the SNES type beat. But I hope you also enjoy the gameplay that we have here. That's right, it's time for game number 2 of NIGMA versus Secret here at the ESL One Summer 2021, powered by Intel. And I think NIGMA are running out of answers, you know? It's like, oh, let's try IO in the Viking GG series. Solved. Not mark it off the list. Can't do it anymore.
Remaining.
Invoker, always gonna get first phase banned. Can't do it anymore. Luna, gonna get
5
banned out.
seconds remaining.
Running out of stuff in their play. There's nothing written on this part.
They can always rely on the orange heroes. That's
orange
what
heroes,
they've been
that's right.
very consistent with, so I expect one of them to be picked at least for Team NIGMA.
Okay, we had Phoenix, though. That didn't work out too well.
Dragonite, is he red or is he orange?
He's red, because Silencer specifically had to get changed from red, because he looked too similar to Dragonite.
Not really.
Oh, yeah, no. Silencer, when he first was introduced to the Dota 2, he had red
10
armor,
seconds
and now it's like a
remaining.
magenta pink, because supposedly, they never confirmed this, but supposedly he was
5
too close to
seconds remaining.
Dragonite.
So
Oh,
you're
yeah,
saying-
we don't have that in game
Yeah,
anymore.
Glance value, my
Yeah,
friend.
but your glance value was important. But what about now? What happened? Why does Weaver look like Wyvern? Like in some cosmetics? What's happened?
Why is Nyx Assassin looking like Weaver?
That's
Like
true.
you actually can't tell the difference with the subsets.
We were out of beta now, you know? We were in beta previously. Glance value, the only people playing Dota have been playing it for like 15 years at this
I
point.
gotta correct you there. We're not out of beta. It's only the website that's
True,
out of
it's only
beta.
the website. You go to your Steam folder, it still says Dota 2 beta.
Maybe the new patch could be the next kind of the development of the game. If it's big enough.
Reborn?
Yes.
That's what I like to see. You also like to see is Nyx Assassin, because I think literally every single game of today has had Nyx Assassin first phase, both in our first series and now here.
What happened with Lion? Why not Lion? Great against Nyx, instant hacks. We didn't see him today. I don't think he was banned at all in all the series, but they open up with the instant stun. Great setup for Ancient Apparition once the Dragonite gets that Black Dagger. And here we go.
Darkseer first phase. Great pairing with Nyx Assassin, really irritating in lane.
It's going to be interesting to see what bans NIGMA does to cover this Darkseer, but I think going back to Lacosse's question about the Lion, I think it's mainly the idea that if you have the
10
option of AA
seconds
or Lion, I
remaining.
think AA still has a bit more kind of power in the rankings.
Lion even looks much
5
better now,
seconds
especially
remaining.
against the Dark Seer. You get the shard, kill 3 illusions with the
Dire
drain,
team
sitting there with the budget BKB. So definitely love that. They might cover carry heroes. So right now we see Faceless Wood, which is good in the lane, can come walk off the damage.
Jug, perhaps. Lone Druid.
Dire team ban.
Why is that interesting? Because Team Secret played it. I don't think any of the teams, maybe Team Liquid,
Yeah, it's just
played
Corkfoot and
it. It's
Matumba,
just
man.
two of them playing the hero. Others
Team
don't
Secret's
value him
turn
at
to
all.
ban.
Yeah. The key thing is when NIGMA does run this Darkseer, often teams might run a more semi-core to play with the Darkseer to fight and prod, but no, NIGMA plays for like the harder carries. So far, they played, Terror Blades, even some technically Lycan's more of a harder carry, but Luna as well. Like they don't really go
10
straight away for like the
seconds
melee
remaining.
carry to enable from the Darkseer. The Nyx alone will do that, but I guess that's an
5
indicator from the
seconds
AA.
remaining.
When you have Nyx Darkseer, AA doesn't really do anything in that lane. He's more of like a poke and prod playing with the 4. But when they're both playing together inside the wave, AA doesn't really provide much. I think that's why NIGMA was so happy to give away one hero but then take the next.
And they do ban out the Jug, so 3 heroes that could probably deal with an Ion Shell lane.
Team
Or at least these are the
Secret's
melee
turn
heroes.
to pick.
Ranged carries can kind of fit in, but it's kind of a little stressful to play it against Surge as well. Darkseer is an interesting first phase pick, but not one that's particularly popular. And yeah, they ban out the Lion.
Well, let's see how it pans out. And so far, NIGMA's 3 games they played at ESL Summer, they have with confidence
10
picked kind of
seconds
some of their
remaining.
better heroes, and it's not really been working out. So maybe this could be the final game.
5
Again, to remind
seconds
everyone, if
remaining.
NIGMA loses this very game, they will be last place at ESL Summer. They will walk away with $5,000, but that's not what I think NIGMA fans want.
No, definitely not NIGMA. They're aiming for the bigger things, but they need to win this one to stay in the game and play another best of 1 after this, if they manage to win it against Team Secret. So looking at Darkseer, they need hero that benefits from the Ion Shell, so most likely coming out from the mid lane. Maybe Ember Spirit. I don't mind Ember Spirit against the Dragonite. Could be a relatively good pick. You have a ton of damage coming out. You can instantly kill the support. At least the AA, we can still see the second support for Team Secret.
Dire team pick.
Again, just to keep everyone updated on the openings, this is once again Secret going with a brand new pair. I think it's now 12 games, I think, in a row where they haven't picked the same 2 heroes in their opening draft.
Long-range initiation coming up from Clockwork and Ancient Apparition. Long-duration stun, either with the cogs or Dragonite stun. Great way to set things up. You can have this like global presence type of a thing.
They also have this kind of... The key thing is multiple ways to enable the AA. If Clockwork's in one lane, DK's in another, they're going to be able to jump that hero, get the AA blast connecting with, and they will have this kill threat. The nice thing as well is Clockwork, the cogs, when Darkseid's playing, it's all about movement. I think any hero that has a way to mitigate that movement, be it like a Rupture, an Arena, a Cogs, it really does reduce the impact that like Surge in this game has.
Yeah, this is why NIGMA also banned out the puck in the first phase. They were very prepared. Okay, new hero.
Is it going to be Venge Drow or Venge Medusa? I would assume Medusa just because of the clock. You don't really want to pick Drow into these heroes.
Venge was completely uncontested at the Animator, I believe. I think
for the Terrorblade. Okay.
Okay.
Very cool.
Still taking advantage of the minus armor, sure.
And it should be a strong lane. Like Vengeful Spirit plus a Reflection in the lane is very annoying. Just that one value point in the laning stage coming up from the Reflection. The slow gives you a kill setup, gives you that kill threat potentially as well. You have a way of buffing up the Terrorblade, swapping him out of the trouble, swapping people out of the cogs.
I will say that the key thing is Wraith King is a kind of very weak against Terrorblade in the essence of the kind of the big team fights. Terrorblade spawns illusions, just locks him down. Wraith King can't really get through that and it needs like 3-4 items to actually kill Terrorblade unless he like crushes laning phase and has a one item advantage and just kind of sweeps through the map, you know, minute 20 plus and just steals the jungle away. So,
5 seconds
Secret, it is a lot of emphasis on they need to play that aggressive style that we saw in game 1, the A, the clock pairing together very quickly, and then just try and collapse these early towers with DK.
They have tower damage with the Wraith King, almost at Skeleton King, plus a Dragon Knight. They need some kind of magical burst damage to deal with the illusions, to deal with the Terrorblade. Once again, we go back to Lina pick. It just, in my opinion, every single time I see, like, you need to check a lot of the boxes, Lina comes to my mind.
I guess a nice thing as well is the fact that Secret, their way of killing someone, it's all single target spells. You know, the hook shot, the Dragon Tail, the Wraith King stun, the AA ultimate, like, all of this. One swap on that hero that's getting jumped, Venge might die as a repercussion of that, but then the core is still alive, that post-fight, Secret will be lacking the kind of the lockdown to really take that secondary fight. So I think I actually kind of like the development of this strategy from NIGMA. Again, they need to be able to execute this because so far ESL Summer they have been a little bit underwhelming, but this kind of approach to this is very good.
They do ban that Ember Spirit that I mentioned, makes a lot of sense. They don't have anything that could like just burn the shield early on, and great partner with the Darkseer, limited the lockdown.
10 seconds remaining.
Dragon Knight provides you with some, but still might not be able to burst it down.
5
and what Team
remaining.
Secret banned in the previous game when they had Phantom Lancer, the Illusion hero, Sand King and Underlord, same thing NIGMA doing in game 2.
Now NIGMA most likely looking for their miracle hero, and it seems like they've already gotten most of their boxes checked. I don't know if they're looking for something to, I don't know, play with the Terrorblade. The Razor is still in the pool if you want it against the Wraith King.
Yeah, Razor's somewhat okay. Again, they don't have last pick of the draft. That's where the DK can instantly just be flexed away from that lane if required. So it's a difficult spot. Like, that's why, you know, Secret happily bans Invoker first phase, because it's comfort of just picking the hero and knowing there's no real counters. The I think the Lashrak is actually still pretty good.
Seems fine. Gives you that early tower damage that Team Secret has with the Dragon Knight pick. So Lashrak doesn't have too many bad matchups. I mean, if they go with the Lina on Team Secret, it's still Lina favorite matchup, so they are staying one step ahead. Of course, they have the last pick. So net. How much do they have? 40 seconds left?
40 seconds.
Does Miracle play Timber at all? Or do you not want him to AA anyway?
I would like him to be more of a kill threat rather than like a positional threat. I think Terrorblade naturally does that with illusions, pushing out waves, and Nyx Darkseer will always have that same kind of map pressure. I think you need someone to connect the dots and to enter the lane and find kills with, you know, that person.
What about something like a Quap?
I think Quap could be pretty interesting for the idea of fighting. What do they go for? Oof, they go for Batrider. Okay, you know, buy quick bots, you're connecting into the side lanes with Darkseer, the Surge. You can be, you know, devastating. There is no save on Secret, so yeah, I like the idea of this Batrider pick.
Something that NIGMA abused half a year ago, when you could break the speed limit exactly the same combination, Darkseer plus
5 seconds
Batrider.
remaining.
So they potentially need a hero that can... What? I don't know if you want to play...
Yo, hear me out on this.
You want
You're gonna say Slark?
right?
Yeah, he's gonna say Slark. Yeah, we know it. But the reason why I don't think they can instantly go for Slark that Secret loves doing is just because it's a Terrorblade. Terrorblade naturally stands still, kills everyone. You know, Slark's about poking, prodding, running around.
All right, how about a somewhat more reliable one? You get Doom with the Purge creep.
True. No, that's kind of Imba broken. I think that's a very good suggestion, sir.
Against the Darkseer on top of it,
against
that
Batrider.
would be great.
Yeah. Not too shabby.
We'll see if
Or
Nisha has it up
Puck
his
available.
sleeve.
Oh,
No,
Puck's already
Puck
banned
banned
out.
the
Yeah.
first phase.
Storm
Storm.
Now
Spirit.
select your heroes.
Well, it's
That's,
magic damage versus the Terrorblade, which
The
they probably needed.
Yeah, the idea of the Storm is, in laning phase, if Bat tries to go on you, you do have the Vortex, a way to maybe to punish him and kill him if he's running at you. But the key thing here is we mentioned the value of Vengeful Spirit right now. And I think when you have heroes like Clockwork, that's giving you the vision, you got the jump, that additional kind of core to go in as well is like execute the Venge, then take the fight after. If you're not killing the Venge, you're probably not going to be killing a hero. So I like the fact that they focus more on their game plan of like the mid game than just picking like a hard counter to a Batrider. It's about that big team fight they're looking for.
I want to see how NIGMA reacts to the global presence of Team Secret, Ancient Apparition, Clockwork, also Storm Zip. They could potentially be there with the Batrider, who naturally builds into Boots of Travel as a first item. So, still, I'm favoring Team Secret in this one. I would call it 60-40.
Ooh, yeah, no, I like 60-40. I think that sounds about right. It's just a lot of emphasis on Miracle. He has to play out his lane, not get too, over aggressive, and if he dies, then I think the game's gonna be hard. If he just focuses on farm and then the bots timing of the fight, then it's gonna look a lot better. So yeah, it's how does NIGMA enter their first fight is gonna be the critical answer or question.
Yeah, especially because I haven't seen enough of Vengeful Spirit recently. I don't really know what her
Spell
niche is. She has like a stun or something, I think. I don't know, everyone knows her for the minus armor, and I'm assuming that that's what they're hoping to synergize with. It's just that your mid laner, the Batrider, is going to be primarily magic damage, so it seems like it's, I don't know, a little bit just one-dimensional, but if anyone was going to bring it to prominence, it's probably going to be Kuroki, and we'll have to see if they can survive this game number 2 with our casters, Sunsfan and Jenkins.
Thank you, panel. Riveting words from all three of you. Great individual gentlemen, each and every one of you. Jenkins here with Sunsfan. I said that backwards. We're just going to ignore that fact. But the thing that we're not going to ignore, Jenkins, is that a Vengeful Spirit has been picked. I literally forgot this was a hero in Dota.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and admit this just live on air. We did Google what the abilities did. I'm going to call us out
No,
for
that's
that.
the passive. The passive specifically, right?
Because I thought it was flat damage, maybe, but then it's like, oh, that's Luna.
Yeah, that's Luna now. They flip-flop these skills like 2 or 3 times now.
It gave attack range at that point.
That's right.
But it's just base damage again. It's like Razor's ability, except Razor, it's only on himself, which is just the worst, the worst possible thing.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts?
Okay.
This is the AM first game, and I love Venge just as a concept, right? This hero has had her time to shine in Dota history.
Yeah, I don't mind this NIGMA draft at all. I think the Venge, it's a 5, so it's like, there's not really that much discussion that I think should go into 5 roles, just because they're going to be walking around dying and stunning people and warding anyway. It's not the most impactful role to discuss. He's going to have an aura, for the Terrorblade. He's going to have the Wave of Terror for the minus armor. But the Batrider, I think this is a free back game. Bat could dumpster any of these lanes. He's really good against both of these supports. The only thing is the Storm Spirit can kill him in the game.
Right. Because we're going to see some level 1 action. Miracle is in quite a bit of trouble trying to get the sticky napalm out, but the cold, yeah, absolutely. First blood, the way of Secret, not the start you want for Mr. Miracle after that game 1 on Razor. But you're talking about how you like the Batrider this game.
Oh, God. I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't do that to my boy.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, I really think, okay, as we can see again here, yeah, these body blocks from Yapzor, these are the only reason this AA stun, that's got to be the farthest possible radius away where the stun still lands. Because otherwise, I don't think they get that kill. So, very good for them.
Yes, very good indeed, Jenkins. Thank you.
What are you doing on your phone?
I'm just...
what are you Googling?
I'm just Googling Vengeful Spirit skills again, just to double check. His Mind Control is going to take a tumble on the bot lane. Already 2 early kills for Secret. I mean, in terms of just
okay.
you found something.
I'm excited. Yes. Okay. So what they did, and by they I mean Team Secret.
Right.
They're running this tri-lane bottom, and Zai, he cut himself a little tree path top through, so that way he could go behind and cut the wave.
Oh, okay.
And so they just weren't expecting him to do that, because who the hell does do that?
Right.
And now he gets a free lane. So this is similar to what we saw with OG and the Earthshake, except all you need is Quelling Blade to get the lane control.
Yep, very true. Is my control. Cogs, nope, not leveled up yet because he's only level 1 still, but the Battery Assault is doing quite a bit here to... I mean, it's a double melee lane, and GH actually came in to try to help out. Almost cost him his life there. We'll be able to get off the salve, though, and should be good to go. Yeah, okay, we skipped ahead a little bit here, Mr. Jenkins, but as we see in the top lane now, Zai taking pressure. I mean, Breathe Fire, pretty good against Terrorblade, as the damage reduction is for base damage. But, like, whose lineup do you actually like more? Like, as a whole. Forget about the first blood and all that stuff, okay?
Once again, so this is like a panel question. They always ask, like, what your predictions are. For me, I really think that Dota's fairly balanced these days, where all heroes kind of scale decently well. Like, there are some exceptions that are complete garbage. Pudge, for example, 40% win rate. Not so good at any phase in the game.
Okay.
But, so I think Batrider has a free game in terms of when he has his boots of travel and the laning phase, other than this rotation that's happening here. That's making it a bit of a pain in the ass. But then Nisha on Storm Spirit can always jump the bat in side lane, so there's options for both teams. Nyx Assassin versus Storm on the other side, if you jump the bat and there's a Nyx there, you just feed. So, like I'm saying, both sides have some options for this game.
Okay. Great prediction. Thank you.
Why do people
Taking
want
both
to predict?
sides.
Why do people want to predict?
I don't know if you know this, but it's fun to predict because
It's not.
somebody has to be wrong in that scenario.
How the hell am I supposed to know? These players are all better than me.
You're not okay. First of all, you're not supposed to say that. A lot of people think that you might actually be better. You're just choosing to be talent.
Of course.
As GH takes that up here.
I would not wish this on my worst enemy.
What, having to hang out with me? Oh.
It's very hot in the studio, and I'll let you all assume what that means.
It means that it's summertime. What do you mean? It's the theme, Jenkins.
Yeah.
For God's sake. So Kuroki and Zai are, yeah, okay, I was going to say, he can right-click into the Breathe Fire. We'll do so to make sure that he actually gets the tomato. But, I mean, a good move from Kuroki, making sure that the man is at least expended there.
Yeah, Zai's just kind of chilling up here. This is the nice thing with the DK versus... DK's always going to do fine.
Oh, the Courier. Yeah,
Dire's courier
that's quite a bit. That's
killed.
a set of tangos and the belt of Elven Skin. I never remember the name of this stupid thing. Elven Skin something. Is it a belt? Slippers?
No, that's not slippers.
What are they?
It's like a wrist guard or something. I don't know.
Oh, Miracle. He's getting really low to the right of Nisha. And here comes GH from the side. Miracle. Still living on very little HP. Gets the Water Rune, though. And we see the Impale come out. So, NIGMA this time, they do pick up the Nyx, as we talked about last game. How does this hero feel this particular game?
Great.
Jenkins?
Two heroes, DK and Wraith King. I was about to say Skeleton. Technically, it is Skeleton King.
Yeah, if you have the cosmetic, true.
Neither of these heroes want to be mana burned. They have low mana pools, and they need their mana. And then Storm Spirit, who's going to have a massive mana pool and a ton of int. So you can do a crap load of damage to him, as well as chain stun. So it's a great Nyx game, which is always hilarious because it's almost always first pick, and then it almost always ends up being a good Nyx game.
Yeah. Very powerful hero indeed. As the Yapsor's going to run right into Kuroki, gets the Battery Assault off, but not looking to go any further right now, as Miracle is kind of in control of this lane. I mean, in terms of the CS, he's 17-4 versus the 27-10. All right, that's actually a lot worse than I thought. So Nisha will also be hitting level 6 before Mr. Miracle. We'll see if he can actually take advantage of that. But GH has the ward out here. Nisha getting a little bit more aggressive, but obviously wants to wait for that level 6.
This, to me, is another one of these, same as last game, very nice lane setups from Secret, where they do these clever little things, like with Zai and the DK, where he can sit up here with the passive and just farm freely. Oh, Nisha.
Yeah, Magic Missile, Miracle. Flame Break actually puts him back into the vicinity. But yeah, with GH there, you cannot TP, so a very value kill here. Team NIGMA. But in the meantime, Yapsor, Battery Assault is there into ILTW. Doesn't really pose much of a threat now, though. Only level 2 versus level 5 on him.
Yeah, that level 2 Battery Assault is such an important point. More than doubling the damage. That's when you could potentially threaten the TB, but without that, it's not happening. Just being annoying.
Yeah, he's doing a great job of that, of course. It's funny because I feel like Yapsor these days isn't like, how do I put this correctly?
He doesn't steal farm?
Yeah.
Okay.
He used to steal a lot of farm and just get... But they had a lot of success with that, but feels like he's gotten a lot more discipline and is almost like a secondary support in a lot of these games. Which I guess technically is what his position for it is.
Oh, Miracle's level 5. He's got no mana. But he does have Fairy Fire.
Now in the mid lane, they're going to jump on him with Nisha. Miracle pops that Fairy Fire and will survive as a result. Oh, the last right click with a chilling touch, not enough from Puppey. Now they're going to try to turn this around onto GH. Cold Feet not going to proc though. They just force out Team NIGMA as Miracle working on the Boots of Travel now.
I will quote my boy Owie on the question of Yapsor. I think that this guy has now kind of opened up his hero pool and his playstyles, that he has more options for how to play the game. I think he's still very capable of being greedy. I don't think you ever lose that as a player. If you could do something previously, chances are you can probably still do it. It's like riding a bike, which of course you never learned how to do, unfortunately.
That's not true. I just haven't done it in a while.
Okay. Could you do it again?
I mean, you never... Of course, you always remember how to ride a bike. It's the same as swimming.
Exactly. So that's exactly what I'm saying with Yapsor, but now he can play these kind of more traditional supporty play styles with the clockwork.
I think Blitz is the one that can't ride a bike, right?
Really?
Yeah. We made a content piece about that years ago.
Ah, but he's buff.
He is buff.
He probably rides bikes in the gym. It's the same thing.
He wasn't buff back then. That's the thing.
You think he can ride a bike now?
That's a good question. I'll have to wait for the panel to be able to decipher that. And they have a lot of good insight for us after this game, for sure.
Of course, I think so. The panel right after. Directly after the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Lots of good stuff.
I have to remember to ask them that for sure.
Top tower
But looking at the farm right now, looks like Wraith King is on top right now. So Matu going for the armlet build. Again, no big surprise. Expect the rate. Do you go Radiance against? Probably not against the Nyx and Darkseer, right?
And Terrorblade.
Yeah, true. That's pretty bad.
This is one of those awkward matchups versus Terrorblade where you don't want the Radiance because he just gets one of him. He just gets the Radiance back. But also, if you go for like a Deso build, then who's doing the damage to kill the TB? Because that's a minus armor build. And TB has like 50 armor by the time you're fighting him, so it's...
And if you get AC at some point, that's kind of the same issue with the auras, right?
Yes, and that's the way that Wraith King would typically plow through that armor. So it's weird, and I'm interested to see what Matu's solution is. Maybe he's just okay with this Storm Spirit being the answer to the TB illusions and to the TB hero.
Yep, we'll have to wait and see.
Dire's top tower
1k advantage right now for Secret, so nothing too crazy, but they've definitely gone off to a bit of a better start. And, I mean, the Wraith King, I mean, Matu, they got to be careful with here. If you just leave this guy alone for too long, you can just go in the jungle and just absolutely amplify that farm to another degree.
TB's the same too, though, and I think you'd rather the TB doing it than the Wraith King. So Wraith King's got a bit earlier of a timing. As soon as he gets the armlet, he can start running at towers.
Oh, Misha. They see him. Oh, dodges the Impale. All right. Very sexy.
He had no vision of that. He just predicted.
I was trying to find the ward, but...
he just predicted. That's really cool.
Sometimes you feel a tingling, you know? You just gotta respect that.
I think you should get that checked out.
Cogs into the Wraith Fire Blast. Matu doesn't look like they'll have enough damage to take out Miracle, but with that Dragon Form now popped from Zai, at the very least some damage will be done to this Tier 1. Yeah,
he's got max Dragon Blood. I like this build a lot on the offlane Dragon. I know it's very typical now, but you have treads, and it feels like your Timbersaw. You just tank towers, nobody can kill you. It's such a pain in the ass. Even if they do kill you, it's usually not worth it.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what you want as an offlaner. Just be annoying.
Yeah, you see the Cogs. Magic Missile was there, but he's going to be able to take the haste. But the lasso is there before the stun comes out, so this will likely be a kill, although Yapsor so quite fast, and the Magic Missile was actually in range, but he's still alive. Living on the edge. Yeah, the raindrop definitely a lifesaver there. So Secret get away with murder, but Miracle in the meantime taking heavy damage. No Cold Feet to proc though. I'll just break things up.
I'd like to point out he also has a casual cloak. If this gentleman had one less of these items, he would not have survived that. That was 3 heroes hitting him. That is such a terrible trade for NIGMA. And I'm sure Yapsor was not like, oh, let me do the calculations here. Like, there's no way he's calculating that, but very convenient for Secret.
Yeah, GH already popped the Spike Carapace, so great job. Oh, they impale up to 3. 3 heroes, though, into the back wall combination with the magic missile to follow. So YapzOr looks like he might... Okay, he's actually taking that much damage as there's the Breathe Fire into the Dragon Tail. Secret disengaging for now, but Matu has come to play. Gets the Wraith Fire Blast off onto Kuro. He's going to hit the magic missile in the face, though, so this will be his first life in all likelihood. I don't think it feels like Secret weren't on the same page there, at least not at the start. As the stun from the Spike Carapace onto Nisha again. Wraith Fire Blast. Not quite available as Kuro gets off. No, not going to get out with that chilling touch to be able to take him out. Now Zai actually runs right into the wall. Or is that a reflection? Yeah, that's a reflection. A lot of illusions for sure. A Blast coming in, it's going to connect on the 3, but it's going to come at the cost of Zai's life. And the tower still survives. So Team NIGMA mounting a nice defense here.
One of those funny situations where you have a Dragon Knight on one side, so both teams know that this tower is either going to die or the Dragon Knight is going to die. And so both teams are very committed to just 5-manning the mid tower with even ILTW and Matumba getting involved. Yeah, like, I can't believe he survived this. If the Firefly was up, definitely YapzOr goes down there. Ooh. He doesn't have that raindrop, he goes down.
GH's response had none.
he was not, I told you, he was not expecting that. I mean, the guy's a great player, but nobody goes in expecting, I can take...
Yeah, I mean, even if he had died, he wouldn't have felt that bad, because that's pretty decent space created. He took the rune as well. Yeah, but surviving on top of that, yeah, that feels very good.
Moral victory, too.
Yep, you know a lot about that one. All you get.
Yeah, that's true. That's not even a... That's just...
It's just a fact.
It's just true. It's just true.
Yeah. Well, okay, let's go back to this Vengeful Sphere for the Kuro. So,
Radiant's
Nether Swap...
tower is under attack.
Yeah, the cast range is still the same as the old days. So level 1 is just... It's kind of weak, right? It feels like you don't really get the consistent swaps until you get level 2, which, you know, it's going to be pretty far away for him being position 5.
This was a good ability when there was 2 of them.
Oh, man, that was great.
And then they removed it and added an Aghanim Scepter that requires you to die.
Yeah.
So you have to be dead and feeding to use it, which...
Well, first they put in the one where it feared when you swap, right?
But I feel like this Aghanim Scepter is playing to lose.
You think so, huh?
You have to be dead for it to get value.
Well, he's playing position 5, so I'm just going to go out on a limb here and say he's not getting the Ags anytime soon.
That's all I'm saying is they nerfed the hero to add that Ags.
Right. But
that's the problem.
It is a cool Ags in theory, though, right? Just needs maybe a tweak or two. I mean, you get XP still as an illusion. It's the strongest illusion in the game, theoretically, right? You get everything. The only problem is when you respawn on top of it and you're in front of like 5 heroes.
That is true. I learned that you can backpack the Ags.
Oh, okay.
Because I did see somebody getting farmed. Their Venge and the Furion was perma-sprouting the Venge illusion and killing them on the respawn. It's like, okay, this is the most griefing Ags in the game, and you can backpack it.
I think I've seen that video. It's probably the only one I've ever watched on your channel. All right, so 2K net worth lead for Secret. The arrows were really distracting in that one. That's why I clicked on it, actually. 2K net worth lead for Secret. It's a tier 1 tower now, as Team NIGMA and apply some pressure with this metamorphosis from ILTW, who has the SNY now, and Miracle. Talked about him. The initiation is going to be really important from him, but going for the BKB after the Boots of Travel. A blast with the connection, but a nice swap from Kuro. Finally his level 6. And Pale onto 2 heroes, and that's 2 heroes from Secret just evaporated. And Kuro and company trying to get some damage onto the Storm Spirit. Nisha burning down very slowly. A good counter initiation there from YapzOr. He might actually live through this, and Nisha was basically safe from YapzOr, so even if he dies, you'll be happy with that exchange. But in the end, no heroes for Team NIGMA die in this engagement.
Just sick team play from NIGMA between the Darkseer and the Nyx Stun. That's not an easy combo to hit. I know you see like these Ravages all the time, but it's usually teams like NIGMA that are pulling that sort of thing off. It's very hard. And with the wall too, the Dragon Knight is one of the best heroes in the game.
Oh, they still want to fight. The back is there, and AA takes a tumble. Mato in the meanwhile, still has his ultimate available. You can see he is going for the Deso build that you talked about. Trying to chase GH, but he can just get off this Wraith Fire Blast. It will be enough, but the Impale comes out again. Wraith Fire to follow, but Matu can't catch up. Still not able to find a kill in the last couple minutes here for Secret.
Middle tower is under attack.
Nisha, oh, he's going to find Kuro, and nobody really in the vicinity, but he doesn't know that, of course, so he's just going to play it safe.
I think Secret really needs this Zai Blink Dagger on DK. In all of these fights, Mind Control is just constantly surging people away, and feels like there's nothing Secret can do to to stop
Radiant's
that
bottom
currently. They
tower
need the
is under
DK
attack.
stun for sure. And ILTW is becoming a real problem. I'm not entirely sure how they solve him. I think some smoke is definitely in order, because once he gets the BKB, I mean, he looked relatively unkillable in that last fight with his team supporting him. Now imagine if he has magic immunity as well, or spell
Radiant's
immunity, I
bottom
should say.
tower is under attack.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And we can see here the previous fight, of course. The impale from GH is going to be pretty massive. I mean, this is actually a long countdown.
Yeah,
but this was huge.
But it's huge impact.
Yeah, it was a triple,
Dire's
and the
top
range
tower
looked like
is under
way
attack.
longer than I'm used to seeing on
Every
the
impale
impale.
spell in Dota works like that, it seems.
Yeah, that is true. And here it goes.
That's beautiful.
Oh, we got a team fight. Oh my goodness. Hey, blast coming out. Vacuum outside of it though. And Miracle will be the first to fall. So Secret finally getting a kill here after a couple minutes of a drought, if you will, as the Impale's going to connect on two. They're going to lose Zai and Yapsor though, and now Secret on the run. So despite losing Miracle, ILTW is still virtually unkillable, it feels like. They do find Kuroki in the end.
Radiant's middle
But still
tower is under
two
attack.
for two that I believe. Actually, Secret will take this at that point for sure.
I have no idea. Like, just
For sure.
I have no
They
idea.
kill Miracle. That's a pretty high value kill for sure.
Radiant are
Yeah,
scanning.
but you know, you lose the
Oh,
option.
Nisha. Oh, he's gonna get impaled. Do they have anything after it?
what'd I miss?
Vacuum kept him in place for a bit, but looks like he's gonna survive. A counter initiation now from Yapsor. Gets the cogs off, along with that hook shot. Spike Carapace is there. And get bounced the other side, and that'll break things up.
Yeah, Yapsor has 4 points in Rocket Flare now, so he doesn't really offer any damage for these fights.
Interesting.
He's purely disruption. And so all of the damage needs to come from Nisha as well as Matumba. But the thing is with Nisha, he is getting owned by this Nyx Assassin in these fights.
Oh, Matu. Look at this damage on Miracle. And from the back line, Nisha jumps in, takes him out. And a huge crit from Matu is enough to take out GH in turn. And with so much mana to spare, Nisha finds Kuroki. And that is going to be a third kill in the blink of an eye. And you can see the battery still doing nothing. I've never seen this build, I feel like. But 4 in Rocket Flare. What's the reasoning for this? Just to push out waves?
Yeah, you know, I think it's one of those builds where you don't think that you can sit there and fight anyway. Like, he's gonna die to like a TB. You know, people are gonna be surged out of the cogs. Like, it's purely for pushing waves, and you're just playing to stun in fights. That's it.
Okay. Kind of cool though.
It's interesting. I think, I mean, 8-8, so it looks like they don't lack the damage.
Yeah, I mean, Matu is dealing a lot of single target damage now, for sure, with the Dessel online.
But ILTW, I mean, he's still the lingering problem. I think he can die. If Miracle continues to get picked off like this, we could see some sort of... If NIGMA aren't all 5, then I think ILTW can die.
All right, Team NIGMA, we're posturing around the Roshan pit, want to take control of this triangle. They have the vision. And this Rosh, I mean, Secret can take this Rosh really fast with the Wraith King. And if they can prevent it, this would be huge for either side, really. And ILTW is going to start on the Roshan here.
Zai is just showing bot.
Yeah, sort of gets off his cogs, but the flame break outside of it, beautifully done. But they're getting bounced back left and right, but Firefly is going to be enough in the end. Still has his buyback, though, as Roshan now is at half HP. ILTW popped the Metamorphosis for this.
Yeah, the Secret's choosing to sack this Rosh.
Dire's bottom tower is under
That's an
attack.
interesting call. Once again, it's just one of these things. You question why. It's not because Yapsor just died. They chose to sack this beforehand. We had Zai just showing on the bottom.
Yeah, that's true.
So what is it that they're waiting for that they think is so
Dire's
important?
structures are
Well, the
fortified.
BKBs, right? To
Dire's
start,
bottom
at least
tower is
for
under
Matu.
attack.
Yeah, they're going 3 BKBs on each of their cores, not 3 individually. That would make no sense, Suns fan. Don't give me that look.
I'm literally not looking at you, but good attempt, good effort.
Stop looking at me.
All right, yeah, Nisha. He already has the Ags queued up after the BKB. That's pretty cool to see that he already has that in mind. The Zai, he's going to get vacuumed into the wall. Looks like he's resigned to his death as he does take out the tier 1 tower. He's going to force out a bunch of TPs in the meantime. The entire team made it here just to take out Zai. I think he's actually going to be happy with that, if I'm being honest. Yeah, relatively even now, but Aegis now online for ILTW.
It's very satisfying for me to see Zai dying as a DK versus Darkseer, because I was in a pub against him and I was 1-in-17 feeding on DK versus his Darkseer, he just it completely dumpsters the hero. You just get this illusion of the Dragon Knight, and he can never blink away.
Right.
You can surge it, you can put the Ion Shell on it, and the slow.
It's incredible that every game you talk about.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, this is great. Look at that.
That's what he gets. He completely only branded the Darkseer.
Oh, meanwhile, I believe somebody is dying. And yeah, that's going to be Puppy taking it out. I believe he has his shard now. It's Nisha. Oh, the Sunder comes out. So ILTW being very confident with that since he does have the Aegis intact. I'm going to try to turn this around into a tier 2 tower now. As he had a shard for... It's funny that he would... Interesting that he prioritizes this so much. To be able to have Ice Vortex do damage over time to be able to push and farm out for himself.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
On Puppy? Yeah. It's... Do you think it's a must-have on the hero? I know Aoi... Was it Aoi that was saying that it's not a must-have?
Yeah, I feel like it is.
Think it is?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I agree with him. You're completely wrong on this one.
All right, well, I agree with Puppy, so I think I'll take my odds.
Yeah, it's just TI winner, I guess.
Yeah, but... One TI winner is now an analyst.
Oh, that's a
and the other is still playing.
That's true. That's true. I'll go with Puppy on that one. It's a good item.
All right, Smoke now on Team NIGMA. Oh, YapzOr. Yeah, he's going to be the one to tank the gank, as it were. To get the Flame Break off into the Impale, and the right clicks from ILTW are enough. But Matu wants to fight. Miracle taking so much damage. Just one right click, really. Pretty insane the amount of damage that Matu's able to do. But of course, it is a different build, right? It's very single target based. You're not having the Radiance do this ridiculous amount of damage over time. But he's almost done with his BKB.
I think Secret needs to play extremely well, or NIGMA needs to make a huge mistake to lose this, just given that this Radiant King does not have the damage to kill ILTW.
Oh, see the Dragon Tail start things out. It's going to be a double clip from Matu. Basically enough damage to take out GH to start this fight, but Puppy going to fall shortly after. So it's a 1-for-1. Nice hook shot from YapzOr into the cogs. Trying to create as much space as possible, but there's the vac wall. Zai attempting to TP out, but a magic missile cancels it. And Secret are crumbling now. Although the jump in from Nisha, trying to clean some heroes up, gets Miracle at the very least. Going to TP out to safety. So Secret are getting some trades, but definitely feel like they are behind right now in this game.
Yeah, I'm not sure how you kill ILTW, especially with the Aegis. I think NIGMA can walk up whatever the hell high ground they want and get away. I mean, that's a crazy thing to do, right? As a Nyx assassin, walking up that high ground there. It's probably the best hero to be doing it because he is the Carapace, but it's still something that most teams won't do. But NIGMA understands that even if he dies, given that they have the Aegis, given the strength that they have right now, if he dies, they still win the team fight there. Like, Secret has no business farming anywhere on the map if NIGMA wants to go there.
Yep, very true. And you can see the farm discrepancy. ILTW, 15k net worth basically right now. And what is he working on? Let's see. So, looks to be, actually, the Scotty should be done,
yeah,
right?
He's getting a Skady.
Skady. That's an interesting way to pronounce that. 100 away from the point boost to finish that off, and we'll be going for the butterfly afterwards. And, I mean, does this require Wraith King for Matu to get MKB once that butterfly is online? Has the BKB now.
I think he probably will, because at this point, you're going to need some combined damage to kill ILTW. So even though he is going for this primarily physical build, I still think that it's going to require him and Nisha to be hitting ILTW at the same time if they want to win this game.
And you can see the majority of Secret are now smoked up, looking for a way to take out ILTW. Still has that Aegis, but it shouldn't be lasting too much longer. They are spotted out here.
Secret really wants to fight this.
Ooh, smoke again? Full 5-man smoke from KB, ILTW focusing on Puppy. They're going to get him right out the bat. The vac wall out to 3 heroes. Nisha pops his BKB though. And Miracle looks like he's going to be taken out. The Kuroki swap, not enough. Double buyback from Secret. They really want to win this fight. GH looks to be next on the list for Matu, but ILTW still no answer for him right now. They're going to focus on the second light for the Wraith King. Do they have enough damage to actually burst him down? The focus is there. The double kill for Nisha. They actually take out Terrorblade. And now this is going to turn into a full team wipe in Secret's favor. Did cost them a couple buybacks, but Matu just dealing so much freaking damage.
All right. MVP for that fight, Puppy. This is something he does so frequently that I made a video about him doing this. And it got no views because I didn't put an arrow in the thumbnail.
Yeah, you need the arrow.
But he will legitimately just face walk into fights like that if he has buyback in order to immediately buy back and then take the fight, which is really cool. I mean, it's such a silly thing to watch.
Oh, all right, we're gonna have a TP here. Miracle gets off the lasso. There's still a second life for Matu. Miracle pops the BKB. Aid Blast does connect. See if Matu wants to back up here. Looks like he will do so now that a couple more members from Team NIGMA are coming back to life, but he should be good. Level 19 now. I mean, what's the item build? We talked about MKB. I believe he has something coming to him right
What
now.
does he got coming here? Blink Dagger.
Okay.
So, Swift Blink, maybe? I think it's unlikely he's going to get an AC next. So, I think Swift Blink, Abyssal Blade's not a bad item with the Blink Dagger. Now, you know, with this Abyssal losing the Blink factor to it, I think having the Blink first into Abyssal is a pretty solid build.
And Nisha is pretty close to getting the Aghanim Scepter, so the Electric Vortex AoE, essentially Black Hole, which is a true game changer for sure. But I mean, I feel like Team NIGMA, they do have some answers, right? You have the Spike Carapace, if you can see him coming from afar. And, I mean, the Vac Wall has been, I mean, so far it's been really well executed from Mind Control.
And now Secret has the BKBs, though, so the Vac Wall is not as destructive in these fights for them. But with that being said, like, still, the problem of ILTW, they killed him in that fight only because they were able to isolate him and chain stun him. Like, I think if Yapsor wasn't able to hit that hook after the fight was kind of already over, with ILTW being at like 10% HP, I think he can just turn around and sunder there and maybe even win the fight. Right. So it takes a lot of crazy execution for Secret to kill ILTW in these fights, and I think that's still going to be required up until Nisha has the Aghanim Scepter. Then it gets a bit easier, but it's still it's not the easiest thing in the world.
Dire's middle tower.
Yeah, he was originally opting to go for that Butterfly next on ILTW, but it looks to be the Daedalus instead, which has been actually the biggest change of the build, I would say, in the last, I mean, from the Major itself. Just going for that Daedalus relatively early. As you can see, the Matu talent. The 6 skeletons being spawned.
Oh, he went for that without the skeleton damage talent. That's his whole build is kind of strange. Strange in the sense that you often see the other talents. You'll see the attack speed, movement speed's typical, but then you'll see the strength usually because you're playing to right click. So he's got an odd mix.
Well, the strength as well, because you want to be tankier when you have the Radiance, right? Which obviously didn't go this game.
True.
But he's actually going for the AC, so you still will get some value from those illusions on NIGMA's side, at least.
I suppose you have the BKB to dispel the illusion of TB now, so that's something. You have some option.
Oh, they're looking for a fight here. Matu, you don't have any vision, though. He's hiding in the trees. He's going to blink in. Oh! He gets stunned to start things out. He's taking so much damage from ILTW. That's going to be the first fight for him, but here comes the A. Miracle. Trying to do as much damage as he can as Nisha basically out of mana now. And Wraith King, Mr. Matu, gets focused down into Oblivion. Zai, all he can do is Dragon Tail and attempt to run away. GH is waiting for this BKB to wear off before this Impale comes, but the blink is there for Zai, so they only lose 1. But that's all right. I'm down. Yapsor, he actually jumps in. There's the Electric Vortex AoE. The Aghanim Scepter come to fruition for Nisha, but now he has no mana as the right clicks will commence. Zai, Dragon Tail off onto ILTW, but the Impale is there and the right clicks will be more than enough. Interesting that they would go for that without Matu alive. Basically a support for a mid there.
Yeah, that was interesting. There's a little bit of miscommunication there from Secret. Oh, that would have been crazy prediction, but no, he's playing it safe.
Yeah, this is a very back and forth game as second Roche is now up and NIGMA know that it is up. So with this Chrysalis online for ILTW, we'll be focusing on it.
And Nisha has no buyback, so they might still be afraid on NIGMA. They don't exactly.
Attempting to TP out will be successful, but I don't think they can contest this at all. I mean, if they can maybe delay it, I mean, it's 30 seconds on Storm. That's what you're waiting for.
Did you see that Miracle tried to Psychic Headband him close so that Nyx could stun?
Oh, really?
That was cool. Yeah, I was looking, I was like, who has a Force Staff? And then, oh yeah, that's that item. Oh, that's a hilarious
smoke up on Secret, so NIGMA did not, I mean, we have all the information. They could have just killed it, probably.
Oh, we're going to watch it again. He tried. Look at this.
Oh!
Right near the end.
Yeah, this is a good effort, no doubt.
Just a little bit too far away. Perhaps if we had that wind lace in GH's inventory instead of the hats.
Yeah, the min-maxing for real.
Yes, he should have. Yeah, of course. With Psychic Headband on back.
I mean, he basically has Ags now. So that is going to be something to fear. As Matu now focusing on Rosa, you can see it's at half HP, and now you have the damage coming through as Nisha's inside the pit. This is the Aegis, Cheese, and Shard, the all-important Roche number 2. Flame Break comes out, but the skeletons will respawn themselves. So both teams know how important this fight is, and Roche is pretty low. And it looks like Secret are going to try to...
It was absolutely sublime, and that's kind of what Secret leaned on. The 25-minute highlight, this highlight, it was all kind of that team fight, the delaying, utilizing the Wraith King, but fundamentally, RTW on this Terrorblade, just absolute, just dominant beast, because realistically, Terrorblade into Wraith King, it's so hard to play that matchup, because Wraith King can't really lock in and kill him. Itemization-wise, Wraith King can never really get the correct items to chunk through. We saw how Armlet Deso was, completely taken away the supports in the game, but Terrorblade, he can't just get blown away like that because he's got that butterfly.
It's true, and I think most of our questions were pertaining to the Vengeful Spirit in the panel. What is she really capable of? Well, thankfully, Purge is going to explain that.
Thanks, guys. Very happy Venge got picked today. I've been playing her a lot lately. I think she's actually in an okay place right now. You might think, she's got bad stats. She has low mana regen. Her movement speed is a bit weak. But the nice thing is that your 2-spell nuke is really easy to spend mana on. Wave of Terror is 25 mana for 70 damage. You can get last hits. You can harass 2 heroes. You can lower armor to amplify a hero like TB. There's great synergy there. And at level 3, you can do 250 magic damage with only 135 mana. It does not take a lot of mana to contribute in pretty strong ways in the early laning stage, and contribute to these kills, rotations, and laning situations that get your heroes ahead. But the reason that NIGMA picked her this game is because it combos really well. Look at this, Darkseer illusions, TB illusions, that's all things that Vengeful Spirit can amplify damage with by using Wave of Terror. It's really simple to use. You can check high ground vision, all that stuff as well. And if you just play the sides of the fight, your overall contribution to the engagement is pretty much always ongoing because you're semi-survivable. And then once you hit 6, the goal is to do things like this. You counteract the AA combo. And I think that's what NIGMA is trying to do this game. They've got a DK stun, they've got a hook shot, they've got Ice Blast. This is what they're trying to do. Interrupt this initiation, and this buys your cores a lot more time while still complementing your draft in a really big way. This was cool here. Kuro kept stopping his stun to try to waste mana for Nisha. Unfortunately, Nisha had an arcane rune, so you got to dance for basically forever, but that's the ideal play here. And even if it's a situation like this where your team initiates first, you can almost always contribute because Wave of Terror is such long range, so it doesn't hurt as much that your hero has poor mobility. In this case, Kuro out of position, not able to swap Batrider to save his life, so he didn't quite get to do his job in this engagement, but ideally he saves Batrider there, the fight elongates, and then they can take more engagement. So look at this. You can de-war top rune spots really, really easily because with Wave of Terror local down, you can stack neutral camps even if you're bad at timing and forget to do it. There's a lot of really good benefits to the ability. And then we will just jump to the last big team fight that I was able to grab before the game ended here. Get to see a little bit more demonstration. At this point in the game, he's amplifying ILTW's damage by 80 damage. He's giving him 80 damage just by standing near him. And if he uses meta, he gets another 60 damage, which is amplified by another 30% damage. It's a huge way to help out. Yeah, once again, he misses the swap on Batrider, which gets him killed a little bit. And as a result, the 2 support buybacks makes things harder. But I genuinely think that Vengeful Spirit is in a decent place right now. Pick up a Sage's Mask in the laning stage. You can spam spells like crazy, get a magic stick, get a raindrop, have a great game, transition, team fight, all that good stuff. Try Venge, guys.
It's a compelling sales pitch, but I don't really know if we have the energy to step out of the box as much as NIGMA does. I haven't been to that many TIs. Lacoste, you've been to a couple of TIs. Could you handle Vengeful Spirit right now in this meta?
I could, but I might need some energy,
that's crisp.
Open one.
Bubbly. I like it. We're going to have to figure out how the rest of the series goes down, though. There's no way that it could have done anything other than 3 games. It's a monster of a series. We'll be right back after the break. performance, and let's figure out what's good for us right now. Looking like Vengeful Spirit might be on the come up. I don't really know if that was just a one game kind of you can get away with it kind of thing, or if Kuro's really defining the meta, because same thing happened at the Animation. There would be many times where I'm like, Luna? Kuro, what are you thinking with this Luna hero? Lacoste, we hated Luna.
We did, because the execution was not the greatest, and we always said carry-to-carry matchup is not the greatest for Luna. It never was, you know, playing into TB, playing into Ursa, they just demolished the Luna. One thing I particularly liked about game number 2 is Memes. Dragon Knight with the fireball, that shard was really effective. Seeing it in the action makes me happy. I don't think it's very viable. I can understand why he's trying to go for it in that particular situation. A lot of illusions from the Dark Sphere, from the TB. They're going to keep them in place.
Yep.
Cogs, also Electric Vortex. Big combo. Didn't really feel the impact, but never mind. Here we go. Once again, NIGMA with the orange hero opener.
Yeah, I think the interesting thing is the fact that these captains, Kuroki, Puppy, they go into third game, and both game 1, game 2, AA was so prominent, but now look at the opening bans. There is no AA ban, and look at the openings, there's no AA. It's the fact that over the series, they respect the strength of a hero, but I feel like when you lose to a hero, you kind of figure out how you want to beat it, right? So that's why coming into game 3, the critical game, if you lose this, you're eliminated from ESL One Summer. They have just kind of skipped it over.
And they go for an Axe as their second pick. And Mars also showing up for Team Secret. These are heroes that, on opposite sides of the spectrum, Mars was the most popular hero initially in the first half of the Animator, then eventually it was replaced by Lion as the tournament concluded, but latter half wasn't really seen too much as an offlaner.
Maybe here they wanted to split the combo, Phoenix plus Mars, so they decided to take it away from NIGMA. NIGMA with the Axe as a response could be played as a safe lane, could be on the mid lane, but still strong opener, a lot of overtime damage. Maybe some kind of a Dispel would be nice.
RTW has also been playing a couple Axe games in his pub, so potentially as well, we might get to see a bit of flexibility here. Normally, it's been very much an off-lane pick, but yeah, maybe it could be an adjustment for this very game, this critical game 3.
What Axe brings you to draft is low cooldown ability, control. I think in a similar sense to Dragon Knight, that gives you... Axe doesn't give you tower damage, gives you pure damage, gives you that initiation that you need, wave clear. You could go for a different kind of item build, whether it's like a BKB, Blink Dagger type of a build, or if you want to be more greedy, get that Manta style plus a shard scale for the late game.
How important do you think it is for Secret to ban out IO in this second phase? We saw it saved for second phase in the previous game. This time, I don't know. You think it's a good Axe pairing?
I think
it could be okay. I think a lot of the teams throughout the major decided to go with the 2 range supports, when, like, as I said before, Dragon Knight plus Axe gives you that control that you need. Usually it was a position 4 brawler type of a hero that you wanted to have, like, some kind of initiation, some kind of reliable stun. So you can go with that. T-Gov?
Yeah, I think the idea of a second phase IO gyro is still pretty prominent if you're playing into NIGMA, because of course Axe Phoenix is grounded in such a strong lane in that off-lane pairing. And I think Mars is kind of the same, like all these beefier boys in the off-lane, they don't like these kind of mixed damage cores that can just run you down in laning phase and then pivot to farming jungle soon after. So.
And they're protecting the egg. Medusa ban, Ursa ban, I would not be surprised if that's also Lina ban. Lina, for me, fits perfectly here. Egg hitter, nuke damage that you need, also a Yule Scepter builder, so once Axe initiates pre-BKB, you can always send him back to the air.
But potentially also, these could be bans towards an Axe carry as well. Because like an Ursa, he doesn't really care too much about Axe in the kind of the grand scheme of the game, and Medusa as well, you're not really killing her within that single kind of call. So potentially that could be an indicator as well. The cost?
Back to me. They decide to ban Morphling. I thought you were going to throw it back to our host.
I'll take it.
Okay, hold on, host.
Tsunami.
Fine. Well, how about Mirana? I'm surprised that, well, for one thing, it's good against the Enchantress, being able to snipe out the creep, and on the other side, good at killing the egg.
Tsunami.
What's up?
My dad just texted me. He did say, tell Tsunami if he wants to play volleyball in the studio, watch out for the lighting, because you're going to bring down the lights and break the studio.
Interesting. I appreciate it, Mr. Your last name's... what's your last name?
Governor? No, I'm joking. No.
Mr. Governor.
Mr. Governor.
First name Thies, last name Governor.
Yeah. Like a sprained ankle, I ain't nothing to play with.
Just a bit of a warning
Merrick,
from my
Mr.
father.
Merrick.
Yes, Mr. Merrick.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it indeed. I will try to be as respectful as possible for the surroundings, and my apologies.
No, yeah. He also did say that he wants to see Secret ban out the IO.
Okay.
Thanks, Paps. Let's see if Secret does do that.
He's got the in Dota and out of Dota. I respect that. I see where you get it all from, T.
Yep, runs in the family.
All right, Secret, they've been banning out carries. They ban out the Spectre. They ban out the Terrorblade. Phantom Lancer is still in the pool. Another good answer to the Ag, perhaps?
Yeah, perhaps, yeah, pretty much. Back to you, Tsunami.
Or they could potentially get Luna. I wouldn't mind seeing Luna for Team Secret. We see Luna as a response to like these tanky offlaners. Dragon Knight, Timbersaw could potentially be a good counter to the Axe, and you still deal damage around with the glaives always. So similar concept of what they've been doing. Like you have Gyro, you have Medusa against the Egg, so could potentially work.
All these chat wheel sounds
always
are baiting
terrified
me.
seeing Puppy on camera. My heartbeat goes up by at least 15 to 20.
At least this time, during DPC, his webcam was centered simply on his forehead alone.
I remember seeing that.
Yeah, and then as the game got harder, somehow his head disappeared.
At a certain point, you unlock the other direction. You discovered goatee at a certain point.
That's
and it's
very
like, oh
true.
Boy, new content. They go with a Witch Doctor.
Yeah, I like that. It's grounding out their draft with just kind of laning presence. They get to see one more hero, and then they get to pick up an aggressive style of carry to play into that. Still could be the Luna that you mentioned already. But
we've seen that Witch Doctor get some popularity during the major.
EG, that was the main team. North American Dota 2, that really brought Witch Doctor to the major. It had its strengths, it had its weaknesses, but overall looked pretty good. Can utilize the Holy Locket to the hill. Laning phase has the Maledict.
Great pickup. They have 2 birds. Ice and fire.
Moltres and Articuno.
There we go. So they have no damage whatsoever that goes through.
You can curse the people who hit the eggs. You can also use Cold Embrace on the Axe to help farm the Ancients. We saw T1 do that earlier today with the Spectre, with the Blade Mail. But of course, Axe just needs to spin, so yeah. Pretty nice little kind of adjustments with the Wyvern there.
Right now, their damage is pretty limited. This Wyvern pick ruins both Enchantress and Witch Doctor, so we see Leshrac. Leshrac, great counter to heal. I would maybe love to see, I don't know if you can get away with like Spirit Vessel on a Witch Doctor. If you can get the farm, that'd be great. Yapsor, knowing that he is extremely greedy, I would love to see it in this game. Reduce the healing coming out from the Phoenix. Axe, super tanky, and of course the healing coming out from the Winter Wyvern.
And a TA. Oof.
Okay, so I like the TA, but I feel with a support duo of a Wyvern Phoenix, how are you keeping people in place?
Axe. This is when he comes into place.
Just one call?
There is a big disparity right now in the lineups in regards to Secret. Their laning phase has a lot of kill threat, be it like Ench plus Mars, Witch Doctor plus Lesh, Witch Doctor plus potential carry. But how they come to mid lane, like TA thrives when she can farm her lane independently, and there is no kind of support pressure coming into the lane. When you have Phoenix Wyvern, they're locked into their side lanes. They can't really help TA, and that's where Ench Witch Doctor, they very much can.
Templar Assassin plus Axe, both of them love to farm the triangle. So if lanes don't go too well, this is where they're going to be recovering
rationing
in the jungle.
Farm,
Yeah, and Leshrac is one of the best, if not the best hero to steal, not the Ancients with, but the big camp. If he's, if you have like 3 or 4 stacks, Leshrac will definitely try to invade. You have Vision coming out from the Enchantress, could like scout things out.
NIGMA end up banning the Phantom Lancer themselves. That's one of the potential targets to take care of the Egg, and a lot of damage instances against Templar Assassin. Still don't really know where this Axe might be going. Secret is expecting it to be offlaner. They're banning out the Life Stealer. Maybe they might do one offlaner ban, one carry ban.
Just a hero pairing is really good. Axe plus
they might also
Phoenix.
just ban Juggernaut as well
They
on
could.
Secret, right? Just like completely, it's about right now.
Dire
Give
team
Mars that
back.
lane to play that he can kill on, and
Team
like Jug, the
Secret's
lifesteal is
dire
a little bit
team
annoying
back.
to deal with.
Team Secret,
Yeah, right now, I
Dire
think it's
Team
all
back.
about the TA, right? You're going to see like a semi-core or a core that doesn't really have a big win condition potentially, but more of like a stronger laning phase so that you don't have to rely on everyone going to the jungle.
Team
Like we already mentioned, if
Secret's
Axe has a
turn
bad
to
lane,
pick.
he's in the jungle. TA goes to the jungle. Imagine if your carry is a big...
Both these teams probably have different goals when it comes to the next couple of months. Secret already cleanly qualified for TI-10. Meanwhile, NIGMA, they need to get their foot through the
10
door.
seconds
They need to
remaining.
contemplate, what do we do? Do we worry about this patch? Do we worry about a $400,000
5
prize
seconds
pool at
remaining.
ESL One Summer 2021? Or are we just trying to, I don't know, maybe gather our bearings? We had an Animajor performance, and let's figure out what's good for us right now. Looking like Vengeful Spirit might be on the come up. I don't really know if that was just a one game kind of you can get away with it kind of thing, or if Kuro's really defining the meta, because same thing happened at the Animator. There would be many times where I'm like, Luna? Kuro, what are you thinking with this Luna hero? Lacoste, we hated Luna.
We did, because the execution was not the greatest, and we always said carry-to-carry matchup is not the greatest for Luna. It never was, you know, playing into TB, playing into Ursa, they just demolished the Luna. One thing I particularly liked about game number 2 is Memes. Dragon Knight with the fireball, that shard was really effective. Seeing the action makes me happy. I don't think it's very viable. I can understand why he's trying to go for it in that particular situation. A lot of illusions from the Darkseer, from the TB. They're going to keep them in place. Cogs, also Electric Vortex, big combo. Didn't really feel the impact, but never mind. Here we go. Once again, NIGMA with the orange hero opener.
Yeah, I think the interesting thing is the fact that these captains, you know, Kuroki, Puppy, they go into third game, and you know, both game 1, game 2, AA was so prominent, but now look at the opening bans. There is no AA ban, and look at the openings, there's no AA. It's the fact that over the series, they respect the strength of a hero, but I feel like when you lose to a hero, you kind of figure out how you want to beat it, right? So that's why coming into game 3, the critical game, if you lose this, you're eliminated from ESL One Summer. They have just kind of skipped it over.
And they go for an Axe as their second pick. And Mars also showing up for Team Secret. These are heroes that, on opposite sides of the spectrum, Mars was the most popular hero initially in the first half of the Animator, then eventually it was replaced by Lion as the tournament concluded, but latter half wasn't really seen too much as an offlaner.
Maybe here they wanted to split the combo, Phoenix plus Mars, so they decided to take it away from NIGMA. NIGMA with the Axe as a response could be played as a safe lane, could be on the mid lane, but still strong opener, a lot of overtime damage. Maybe some kind of a Dispel would be nice.
RTW has also been playing a couple Axe games in his pub, so potentially as well, we might get to see a bit of flexibility here. Normally, it's been very much an off-lane pick, but yeah, maybe. It could be an adjustment for this very game, this critical game 3.
What Axe brings you to draft is low cooldown ability, control. I think in a similar sense to Dragon Knight, that gives you... Axe doesn't give you tower damage, gives you pure damage, gives you that initiation that you need, wave clear. You could go for different kind of item build, whether it's like a BKB, Blink Dagger type of a build, or if you want to be more greedy, get that Manta style plus a shard scale for the late game.
How important do you think it is for Secret to ban out IO in the second phase? We saw it saved for second phase in the previous game. This time, I don't know. You think it's a good Axe pairing?
I think it could be okay. I think a lot of the teams throughout the major decided to go with the 2 range supports, when, like, as I said before, Dragon Knight plus Axe gives you that control that you need. Usually it was a position 4 brawler type of a hero that you wanted to have, like, some kind of initiation, some kind of reliable stun. So you can go with that. T-Gov?
Yeah, I think the idea of a second phase gyro is still pretty prominent if you're playing into NIGMA, because of course Axe Phoenix is grounded in such a strong lane in that off-lane pairing. I think Mars is kind of the same. Like, all these beefier boys in the off lane, they don't like these kind of mixed damage cores that can just run you down in laning phase and then, you know, pivot to farming jungle soon after. So,
and they're protecting the egg. Medusa ban, Ursa ban, I would not be surprised if that's also Lina ban. Lina, for me, fits perfectly here. Egg hitter, nuke damage that you need, also a Yule Scepter builder, so once Axe initiates pre-BKB, you can always send him back to the air.
But potentially also, these could be bans towards an Axe carry as well. It's like an Ursa, he doesn't really care too much about Axe in the kind of the grand scheme of the game, and Medusa as well, you're not really killing her within that single kind of call. Potentially that could be an indicator as well. The cost?
Back to me. They decided to ban Morphling. I thought you were going to throw it back to our
I'll
host.
take it.
Okay, hold on, host.
Tsunami.
Fine. How about Mirana? I'm surprised that, well, for one thing, it's good against the Enchantress, being able to snipe out the creep, and on the other side, good at killing the egg.
Tsunami.
What's up?
My dad just texted me. He did say, tell Tsunami if he wants to play volleyball in the studio, watch out for the lighting, because you're going to bring down the lights and break the studio.
Interesting. I appreciate it, Mr. Your last name's... what's your last name?
Governor? No, I'm joking. No.
Mr. Governor.
Mr. Governor.
First name Feast, last name Governor.
Yeah.
Like a sprained ankle, ain't nothing to play with.
Just a bit of a warning from my
Mr.
father.
Merrick.
Yes, Mr. Merrick. Merit,
appreciate it. I appreciate it indeed. I will try to be as respectful as possible for the surroundings, and my apologies.
No,
sincerely.
yeah. He also did say that he wants to see Secret ban out the IO.
Okay.
Thanks, Paps. Let's see if Secret does do that.
He's got the in Dota and out of Dota. I
There we
respect
go.
that. I see where you get it all from, T.
Yep, runs in the family.
All right, Secret, they've been banning out carries. They ban out the Spectre. They ban out the Terrorblade. Phantom Lancer is still in the pool. Another good answer to the Ag, perhaps?
Yeah, perhaps, yeah, pretty much. Back to you, Tsunami.
Or they could potentially get Luna. I wouldn't mind seeing Luna for Team Secret. We see Luna as a response to like these tanky offlaners. Dragon Knight, Timbersaw could potentially be a good counter to the Axe, and you still deal damage around with the glaives always. So similar concept what they've been doing. Like you have Gyro, you have Medusa against the Egg, so could potentially work.
Always Chavo.
Always terrifying seeing Puppy on camera. My heartbeat goes up by at least 15 to 20.
At least this time, during DPC, his webcam was centered simply on his forehead alone.
I remember seeing that.
Yeah, and then as the game got harder, somehow his head disappeared.
At a certain point, you unlock the other direction. You discovered goatee at a certain point.
That's
and it was
very
like, oh
true.
boy, new content. They go with a Witch Doctor.
Yeah, I like
5
that.
seconds
It's grounding out
remaining.
their draft with just kind of laning presence. They get to see one more hero, and then they get to pick up an aggressive style of carry to play into that. Still could be the Luna that you mentioned already. But
We've seen that Witch Doctor get some popularity during
for
the major.
EG, that was the main team. North American Dota 2, that really brought Witch Doctor to the major. It had its strengths, it had its weaknesses, but overall it looked pretty good. Can utilize the Holy Locket for the hill. Laning phase has the Maledict.
Great pickup. They have 2 birds, ice and fire.
Moltres and Articuno.
There we go. So
Very
they have no damage whatsoever. That goes
You can,
Oh, yeah,
you can
you can-
curse the people who hit the egg. You can also use Cold Embrace on the axe to help farm the ancients. We saw T1 do that earlier today with the Spectre, with the Blade Mail. But of course, axe just needs to spin, so yeah. Pretty nice little kind of adjustments with the Wyvern there.
Right now, their damage is pretty limited. The Spectre Wyvern pick ruins both Enchantress and Witch Doctor, so we see Leshrac. Leshrac, great counter to heal. I would maybe love to see... I don't know if you can get away with like Spirit Vessel on a Witch Doctor. If you can get the farm, that'd be great. Byapsor, knowing that he is extremely greedy, I would love to see it in this game. Reduce the healing coming out from the Phoenix, Axe, super tanky, and of course the healing coming out from the Winter Wyvern.
TA. Oof.
Okay, so I like the TA, but I feel with a support duo of a Wyvern Phoenix, how are you keeping people in place?
Axe, this is when he comes into place.
Just one call?
There is a big disparity right now in the lineups in regards to Secret. Their laning phase has a lot of kill threat, be it like Eng plus Mars,
5
Witch Doctor plus Lesh,
seconds
Witch Doctor plus potential carry. But how they come to mid lane, like TA thrives when she can farm her lane independently, and there is no kind of support pressure coming into the lane. When you have Phoenix Wyvern, they're locked into their side lanes. They can't really help TA, and that's where Eng Witch Doctor they very much can.
Templar Assassin plus Axe, both of them love to farm the triangle. So if lanes don't go too well, this is where they're going to be recovering
seconds
in the
remaining.
jungle.
Yep.
Yeah, and Leshrac is one of the best, if not the best hero to steal, not the Ancients with, but the big camp. If he's, if you have like 3 or 4 stacks, Leshrac will definitely try to invade. You have Vision coming up from the Enchantress, could like scout things out.
NIGMA end up banning the Phantom Lancer themselves
10 seconds remaining.
as one of the potential targets to take care of the egg, and a lot of damage instances against Templar
5
Assassin.
seconds remaining.
Still don't really know where this axe might be going. Secret is expecting it to be offlaner. They're banning out the Life Stealer. Maybe they might do one offlaner ban, one carry ban.
Just the hero pairing is really good. Axe plus...
They might also just ban Juggernaut as well
They
on
could.
Secret, right? Just like completely. It's about right now. It's give Mars that lane to play that he can kill on, and like the Jugs, the Lifestealers, they have a little bit of annoyance to deal with. Yeah, right now, like NIGMA, it's all about the TA, right? You're gonna see like a semi-core or a core that doesn't really have a big win condition potentially, but more of like a stronger laning phase so that you don't have to rely on everyone going to the jungle, because like we've already mentioned, if Axe has a bad lane, he's in the jungle. TA goes to the jungle. Imagine if your carry is a bigger scaling core that wants to utilize jungle as well. It is a recipe for being run over.
It's a tough pick, I would say, for Team Secret, where they... Like, if you want to ruin Templar Assassin, you could go for something like a Razor. I wouldn't mind seeing that, but then again, you don't deal damage. Wyvern heal
Turn to ban.
could be a tricky one.
NIGMA are burning all of their reserve time and they go with a Luna ban.
Like, we could potentially just see like the Leshrac carry and then put in like the Viper or something mid, you know, something that just is so dominant that you just play a quicker game.
Whenever you have
10 seconds.
damage
10
coming out from
seconds
like
remaining.
possibly off lane, they could swap things around. Like
5
Secret Draft is
seconds
very
remaining.
open. You can have Mars on the mid, which probably not going to be a thing, but you are keeping things open for you. My point is, having Leshrac, which deals tower damage, you can get away with picking a different carry. They banned the Jug.
Yep.
All right, so Arena is confirmed to be probably pretty useful for Secret.
10 seconds remaining.
And now NIGMA need to really agonize over this last pick. They have no time at all. They've got 15 seconds, basically.
remaining.
And they have to decide, is it the Axe offlane, the Axe carry, RTW playing, Mind Control playing, is Mind Control speaking?
Team Secret's turn
No.
to pick.
Oh, it is going to be an
The
Axe carry.
Sand King carry Axe.
What the?
Hell
Many
yeah.
words have been said.
All right, so now let's think about this. It's going to...
Choose your-
Okay.
Alchemist?
The machetes come out.
Oh, that is a big boy. That is, yeah, that's beautiful.
Now, we have spoken about this time and time again. When there is an alchemist in the game, it is an alchemist game. What makes this an especially good alchemist game?
Egg hitter, very nice. Isn't easy burstable in this game. Buys AC against Winter Wyvern, against Templar Assassin. T-Gav seems like you have a good point.
I do have a very good point. I think it's the supports. They don't really rotate around the map too much, and most of these cores farm backwards. You know, they farm their lane to then farm the camp next to them. They don't aggressively invade the jungle to steal the jungle camp. So I think Alchemist, in essence, this is the type of game where it's not very meta, but with this amount of like support impact not being forward pressuring, the cores not being kind of forward pressuring, I can see why Alch might be a good hero here, and I think it's going to have free farm.
Wait, so you're expecting a mid lane alchemist or a side lane alchemist?
In the side lane, but it's like the idea that the supports aren't going to be moving around the map too much. The cores are going to be hitting the jungle, and then Alch gets to just to farm his entire side of the map for free, pretty much.
Yeah, I guess the invasion capabilities aren't too strong.
What I'm gonna say, this is all I'm gonna say,
Hit me.
is when it's an Alchemist game, it's an Alchemist game, so I'm gonna go with Team Secret.
Well, I have to say it as well. When it's an Alchemist game, it's an Alchemist game. Back to you, Tsunami.
That's the trifecta.
That's the trifecta.
We'll have to, in cinder and spirit, please, Shannon, I know you know the man better than any of us. Tell me, is this an alchemist game?
An alchemist game is indeed an alchemist game. Only a psychopath would disagree with that, Jenkins.
I agree.
Prepare for battle.
Okay, so we've ruled you out. That's good to know. If only BSJ was here so we could also add him to the list, but something tells me he would fail miserably. But yeah, we get... Oh, that's my voice.
Oh, no.
Mind control, yes.
Please.
That's what I like to hear. That's a big boy.
That's a bad boy.
Indeed.
Come on.
All right, talk to me about this alchemist, because I know a lot of people hate this hero. I personally love it, even though he won't be gifting people's ags, but that's okay. What are your thoughts, my friend? We didn't see this hero once at the Animajor.
Both drafts are cool. I like that.
I didn't ask you about the draft. I asked you about Alchemist.
Okay, Alchemist.
Okay? Yeah.
You know, there's not much to pressure him. You got Axe, he wants to farm stacks. You got TA, wants to farm stacks. I mean, even Sand King, when this hero is being played in the mid lane, wanted to farm ancient stacks. So all of these heroes are kind of passive. And with Alchemist, you get a free lane versus Sand King too. This hero is really weak until like level 4, level 5. And by that point, you get level 6 on Alch and you're Gucci. You get your ult, you don't die.
That's great to hear. Now talk to me about the full lineups.
Okay, full lineups. I like that NIGMA is taking this carry Axe and this kind of 3-core playstyle from the Major. This is something that they didn't do as much in the Major, and so it's great to see them, you know, trying to
The battle begins.
improve going forward and
right.
Because there's kind of two metas. There's that 3-core thing with like some TA mid, 2 side laning offlaners, and then there's the 4 protect 1, and NIGMA often does the 4 protect 1 style of this, with ILTW being the big boy.
Yeah, it's a big juicy boy in this case. Yeah, I agree with everything you just said. I was definitely listening to the whole thing as well.
Yes.
It's just riveting to listen to Jenkins all day.
Yeah.
It will be the TA versus Lesh mid. And, I mean, what are your thoughts on this matchup as just hero versus hero? We've seen a lot of these two heroes in this patch.
I think Lesh can kill TA once you have levels in the Edict. It's hard to be here as the TA, but early game, you do have a good amount of damage from the refraction on the TA, as well as the other abilities making last hit. So eventually it goes the way of Lesh, but TA can take an early advantage.
And Matu's actually going to be put up in the top lane. Kind of it is a dual lane. No, it is a aggro tri-lane right now.
Okay, I see. So they're doing this. You stack the triangle for the Alchemist and go aggro, and what this does is this prevents the NIGMA supports from getting levels. And that means that the Alchemist, once he does get levels, the NIGMA supports are going to be too weak to go contest in the jungle. So this is a tri-lane that was run, originally I saw this, was Beast Coast that was running this, and I didn't understand why. I think it was Aoi that eventually broke it down for me, and it's about the supports. It's not about the Alchemist having some like sick tri-lane. It's about the fact that in the mid game the supports can't do anything to you, which is super cool.
And ever since we've seen this change, as we can see, the Alchemist win rate is dead even. Not that many games, but Matu has half of those apparently, with only 2 losses. So definitely an Alchemist player, as Cinderin would put it as well.
50-50 is, I mean, that's good in this meta for Alc, I think. That's
no, I would agree.
That would be a solid win rate for that hero, because he's not looking too good.
Yeah, that's true. It's Acid Spray level 1, so you can actually pressure pretty early on. But Team NIGMA now have 3 heroes as well to try to counteract this tri-v-tri. LTW chasing Yapzor. As that Battle Hunger applied, and with the Fire Spirits, is it going to be enough to heal from Puppey? Not quite enough. It's only level 1, obviously, as it is only 2 minutes in the game. So first blood, the way of Team NIGMA, Mr. Jenkins.
I don't think you care. I mean, Motama's just free farming. All 3 lanes are going really well for Secret. I mean, it's close in the mid and the safe lane, so not a big deal. But I think you're really happy with Alc farming, even if the first blood goes the way of the enemy team.
Yeah, I wonder what the build's going to end up being. I'm guessing it's going to be one of these like aggressive, I mean, it could go Blink and stuff like that with like a Blink BKB, some sort of Abyssal. Although Abyssal was nerfed since the last time I've seen a lot of Alchemists, so SNY maybe. Do you think Battle Fury, is that too weird? Is that too slow-paced these days?
Battle Fury was the previous build that people would go for. What would be really cool would be a Vanguard disassemble into Battle Fury and then eventual Heart. That would be kind of sick.
Oh.
That is a new meta strat that people are doing on some of these carries, but we'll see if
you sure it's not an Echo Save for Jenkins? I feel like I've seen that on every position 1 at this stage.
Everything's getting disassembled these days. And
yeah.
if an item can't be disassembled, it's not good. Or if it's not built with a Vitality booster.
Yeah, that's true. Well, that's actually a pretty valid point. So, might be expecting some tweaks to some of these items in the future, the very near future. But the Yapzor pushing GH out of lane for now, and this is it's just an Alchemist watch right now. It's Matu farming away, only has 1 level so far into Grievel's Greed, just holding on to that 3rd point in case the concoction would end up netting them a kill. So just kind of chillaxing a bit. Has a Soul Ring, going for the Ring of Health like you talked about, so you might be right actually. We'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, it could just be a early Ring of Health for the Battle Fury.
And we have the cask. Maledict looked like it missed there. Now Puppey might pay the ultimate price for his insolence. ILTW continue to chase right now. Puppey at half HP. There's the Berserker's Call. They don't do a ton of damage, especially with this heal coming out from Puppey. He's gonna have one of the tier 1 tower for cover. Will be successful in living.
Dire's top tower.
So on the flip side, if you are NIGMA and you know that this tri-lane is to prevent your supports from getting levels, because this is kind of a figured out thing at this point, maybe the reason that they're being so aggressive on the 2 supports is so that they can kill them and get some levels, and that way to counter. So Alc is still free farming, but they're counteracting this issue of their supports being low level. If that is the case, that is incredibly cool, just conceptually, but I mean, obviously it's quite hard to say what they're thinking. Maybe you could...
I'm sorry, were you saying something, Jacob?
Yeah, I was, yeah. Do you have any mind-reading capabilities?
Not anymore. Not in this lifetime.
Okay, that's too bad.
Maybe in the past. Miracle's going to take a cask, but Refraction is there. Nothing to bounce off of. I mean, how much kill potential do they have right now in this mid lane with both of them there? I mean, the Refraction pretty tough to get through, but...
A lot. He's about to die.
Okay.
Just kidding.
Yeah, level 6 on Nisha now, so that is a Refraction killer for sure. And you can see in terms of the last hits, he is doing quite well. Just a little bit ahead of Miracle, but the level advantage is kind of the biggest deal right now.
Yeah, he's a big, beautiful boy in this game, and he
Can you stop saying that, please?
He is
That's
going to,
unacceptable.
ignoring what you're saying, he is going to be pushing out this mid lane. He has a catapult ready. So if the supports rotate in, we do have Yapzor and Puppey trying to push with this catapult. It's hard to stop this with these heroes that NIGMA have.
Yeah, for sure. Has the treads queued up and ready to go here. Yeah, it feels like it's going to be Like, the thing about TA, you want to go back into the jungle, you want to come back to the lane to farm up, but Lesh pushes so much faster at this stage.
You can't leave. But then
You just can't leave then.
Then if you go there, the Lesh has kill threat on you, so you always need some hero to be sitting behind you.
Oh, all right. Mind control gets the better of Zai in that engagement.
Wow.
Got speared in the end as well, but it didn't matter apparently.
Yeah, that's a solo kill, so...
He's a big boy now, I think.
Yeah, he's definitely a big boy.
1,500 gold, by the way. He's relatively close to Blink.
I love that he's just straight rushing the Blink, because you have Axe and TA, two heroes that just want to be farming in the jungle. Axe can be pretty active, I think, if he gets the Vanguard. So with the Blink Dagger, this is going to let you run around and pressure the Alchemist in his jungle. The worst thing you can do versus an Alch is try to outfarm him. It's not going to work. You have to go pressure him, and so he just goes for the earliest Blink possible to pressure the Alch before he gets any items.
And it will be the Battle Fury build for Matu, so we'll see how that fares for him. Of course, I mean, Battle Fury is kind of out of favor for the most part, but if it's on an Alchemist who can get it so much earlier than a lot of these other heroes, it probably doesn't matter that much, right? And this is like the one hero that you can feel pretty safe that you're going to get it at really good timing.
I think there are a few heroes that you kind of need to go for.
AM, for example?
Yeah. Well, actually, Meteor Hammer works on that.
Yeah, so I've heard, but not seen, so I'll take your word for it. As the Diabolic Edict doing a ton of damage to this tier 1 tower, not deniable yet.
Radiant's middle
and NIGMA
tower
are
is under
here
attack.
in numbers, but it'll be tough to defend if they just continue on here. Mind control, just TPing back to bottom. Again, very close to this Blink Dagger, so excited to see what he does, how aggressive he gets with that bad boy.
I'm a little surprised Mind Control TP'd bot. Okay, RTW, calling Matamba Man on the top lane.
A tithe to the impurities.
Just faking it.
Yeah, great call.
Thank you.
Jenkins, I think I'm going to have you do a team fight in this game.
All right, just let me know.
I'm really excited about it, actually. So Tread's now online for Mr. Miracle.
Top tower has been denied.
And we'll be going for the Dragonlance next. And on the side of Secret, Nisha, just going for the Yule Scepter. So nothing too crazy, nothing out of the ordinary. I mean, we have barely even talked about this position 1 axe as ILTW doing massive damage to Matu, but yeah, the Chemical Rage keeps him nice and healthy. Pretty difficult to kill Alchemist once he gets that bad boy on. Man, you really have me saying bad boy a lot now. I really hate you for this.
You started that.
Big juicy boy.
No, you started that.
You say not it and then
you say it and then wink, and it's the strangest thing.
You're not supposed to share these secrets.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Jenkins,
these are trade secrets.
This is a professional cast.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, please get your garbage together. All right, Zai in the trees here has his... Yeah, he's being spotted out, so they actually do know that he's there. He's going to walk away.
Yeah.
Have yet to see a Mars Arena yet.
Nope. It's hard for him. I mean, once the Sand King gets some levels and an advantage like this, it's hard to be Mars in this lane. It's
he's
just
been bullied out right now.
Yep, absolutely. Mind Control does have a blink, though, so anybody that comes down here, he is going to look to solo kill.
I'm not sure if... Has he shown it? Yeah, I guess so. Oh, it's not actually in the inventory yet, so just having it being... Oh, he actually put it down in the trees. Okay.
Ah, that's a nice one. That's a nice one.
That's a big boy for sure.
Yeah,
so Mind Control...
Stop saying that.
Can go for the epicenter combo here if he wants. He's going to TP top. This will be a huge kill onto Matu. And the blink reveal is there. Burrow strike to follow. Epicenter being... I was going to say channel, but it's not really channel. Into the call for ILTW and a chop down. That is satisfying.
Yeah. I agree.
And Alchemist and the Ogre die. They are 2 and 1, but we still count them as one hero.
You like Alchemist. Why do you want to see him die?
I just enjoy... Okay, I do love Alchemist, but the sound and feeling of Culling Blade overtakes that every time.
How does a Culling Blade work on 2 guys? Is he cutting through the little guy on the top? And then... That's horrible.
I'm pretty sure that the Alchemist himself, the small guy, has a very hard head, and once you get through that, the actual Ogre is just like... Yeah, it's just melting, basically.
See. Yeah, it's like...
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, 1K net worth lead for Secret, but again, this is with an Alchemist, and... Probably, I guess you put them behind just based on that fact alone. But of course, no Battle Fury yet for Matu. So once that happens, he'll probably start to snowball out of control. As we can see, a little review here, as the slow motion is always gets me.
Of course, this will be replayed a few times. I would imagine.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
I just feel.
Just a little picture of Jenkins in the dark. That is a nightmare fuel if I've ever seen it.
Don't reveal
That's
that.
like watching The Ring all over again.
We're just sitting here casting off of the sound. We're really in the total darkness.
Well, yeah. Once this, I mean, if you're Team NIGMA, I feel like you're pretty happy right now, right? Battle Fury at 11 minutes. It's good time, but it's not the best I've seen on Alchemist for sure. But of course, he was in the offlane technically, right?
I think you're chilling if you're NIGMA. This Axe hero, one thing that people don't realize is that once you get this Mantha plus Aghanim Shard, legitimately the Alchemist regen is not enough.
Yeah.
You do way too much pure DPS. There's no amount of BKB, Satanic, Sanjin Yasha. Like, you can't get any items that deal with that. Like, you need... Another hero needs to buy an item. You need what's that Yule Scepter? Wind Waker. But you never see it, so I don't know what it's called. But Wind Waker is good. You can Yule's the guy that Axe goes on. Pudge is unironically quite good. You can dismember and eat the person that Axe goes.
Very relevant in this game since there is a Pudge that you can unlock if you get the 10th Roshan, I believe. That's a pretty long game to be able to do so, which usually requires the techies as well, ironically.
Yeah, well, there's an Alchemist, so you maybe.
If you, yeah, enough gold to buy a Pudge, perhaps, his Miracle gets the trap up, but the Zai set up with the arena into the spear. Really be able to take him out with that Pulse Nova, going to work on him in the meantime. Yeah, he's actually going to stay alive with the refraction on the other side now. There's the big combo from Mind Control. The choppity chop on 2, make it 3. Yapsor will be the 4th. Big turnaround for Team NIGMA. They were ready for it. And Miracle somehow survived that onslaught.
Really nice stuff from Kuroki there. It stands out to me when you see, like, he has this decision where either he can heal Miracle or he can pop the egg like that, and he just goes for the egg. Some communication was said where, like, Miracle's going to survive that, or maybe it doesn't matter, maybe it's just too good of an egg opportunity, and then he gets it off, and you end up with this, like, beautiful 3 to 4 man egg.
Stop saying egg, for God's sake. We got the Burrow Strike here. Fire Spirits to follow. The Spear actually connects mid-dive. Really nicely done from Zai, but not enough to finish off the Phoenix as of yet. Kuro comes back to the original location. Gets rebuked. Trying to get inside the pit. Pops a Fairy Fire. Looks like he's going to survive. That is quite the turn of events. Nisha, in the meantime, taking out the Refraction. Cold Embrace is there, but they have a lot of magic damage. That sets up an easy Spear. So finally, Secret get a return kill here. At least it's a big one for them.
Yeah, he is a big boy on that PA.
is under attack. Dire's structures.
That's just the worst co-caster.
You set that up.
Be careful. Dire's middle tower.
Maledict applies. It's going to cancel the Blink Dagger perpetually. As in the meantime, all right, Mars Arena was set up to take out the Wyvern, who now has ult, buys back into the game. So GH looks like it'll be set up by LTW with the Arctic Burn applied as well. Choppity chop again for him.
And Puppy just solo killed Mind Control.
What?
Why?
That's crazy.
How did that happen?
A lot of right clicks and obviously some Maledict damage.
My God.
He doesn't... Oh, he actually used Death Ward as well.
He did use... It was Death Ward Maledict, but still... Here we go. Here's the impact move. 100 seconds.
All right, excellent. Yep, there we go.
Okay.
You can see it was not caught on record, so it doesn't technically count.
I was not set up to cast that for 100. I think that's why when I read 100, they're like, we're not going to let him cast this for 100 seconds.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right, well, that was a pretty high-value kill for Secret, but at the same time, they only have a 1k net worth lead, which with an Alchemist means you're losing right now.
Yes.
And you can see that Matu is going for the SNY and actually has Manta queued up. Okay, so it's not... Wait, is he actually going Manta? Okay.
Yeah, it looks like...
Wow.
The disassemble will be the play.
Yeah, SNY for the time being into a Manta.
Here we go. There it is.
So, wow, he's so low to begin with, too. Yapsor. Okay, from the high ground, he gets it off.
Dire's top tower.
And with a couple right clicks from you, it basically was a solo kill. Wow.
I'm going to be honest.
It's unexpected.
That to me is just Sand King being an absolutely pathetic solo kill hero. Like, his right clicks are just not so good. Not so good.
Yeah, and it's funny because his arms are huge, right? His claws.
Yes, they are.
Like, it's actually deceiving how little
gelatinous and pulsating as well. Just absolutely disgusting.
Wow, what a shock. Matu has the highest amount of GPM at this stage of the game. He's not even doing that hot, but it is an Alchemist. So if you're just joining us, this is an Alchemist game. Just to put your fears to bed, as it were. But tell me about this Manta. What's the reasoning for this?
I believe Matu, using arrow keys, has misclicked the Manta style into the quick buy.
Really? Is that your professional opinion?
Okay, let me think about this. There's things to dodge, you know? You got the axe call. It's very difficult to dodge.
We have the smoke. Mind Control gets the Burrow Strike right off the bat on Anisha with the egg on the low ground. He's trying to block, but there's the Death Lord. Again, Mind Control getting soloed again by Puppey, but it is going to be a trade for Zai. It's now Matu. I don't know if he's actually ready to fight here, but the slows are applied to ILTW, who does have the Manta, but no Shard, as it is only 16 minutes in the game.
Yeah, at this point, he basically just wants to farm with this. So, showing up the fights is more so that he's just incredibly tanky at this point. Axe with any form of armor with the Vanguard is pretty ridiculous, because usually this hero has basically no armor, right? So you show up and all of a sudden you've got all this agility, and it's like, okay, this hero's unkillable.
Yeah, this DD on Miracle with that Desolator means that they want to go for Roche, but expecting the smoke from Secret. The Acid Spray is down, and I mean, Secret is also a team with the Acid Spray can definitely do some damage to Roshan. As now
Dire's bottom tower
the counter smoke from Team NIGMA.
Wrap around. Okay.
Up into the enemy triangle. ILTW, of course, doesn't have the Blink Dagger, but Mind Control does. And with that Sunray, Yapsor gets deleted by Miracle. ILTW technically gets the credit for that kill. In the meantime, Mind Control again just getting bursted down right now. Back onto the Witch Doctor, but it's going to cost them Enchantress as well. So a 3 for nothing as Mind Control somehow surviving. Matu just running around with that Alchemist on his head. They can't do anything about it. A triple kill for Miracle. That was basically 4 deaths for nothing and the buyback.
So
I'm the free Roche.
So I'm confused. He's playing Alchemist. You said he has an Alchemist on his head.
Yeah.
So Matu's
the ogre. Yeah, Matu is the ogre. Okay. I mean, that's basically when you're playing Alchemist, you are the big body. You're the big boy, as it were.
I see, yeah.
And the Alchemist is on your head. It's Mind Control jumping in again, but Puppey there to counteract it with the cast. Mind Control does get off his ult successfully. The Death Lord comes with a nice curse to slow things down from GH. Mind Control continue to tick down from that Maledict. Will this be enough to actually finish him off? Nope. He will barely live. We're going to try to set this back up as the Aegis was successfully taken by Miracle himself. We're seeing the heals come through again.
That was interesting. So Mind Control did a little bit of like a dip back there after that fight, where GH was in range to Cold Embrace, but he didn't. So somebody made the call that he was going to survive the Maledict, and oh, I say that, and he gets speared back.
Yeah, Zai. Oh, okay. Well, all right. Yeah, that's, Yeah, Lil Nick's got it right.
I did see that there. Did you see that?
What?
That he got speared. He died there.
Yeah, he died.
He went in, yeah.
Yeah.
Haste.
Good effort, though.
Sorry about that.
Appreciate that. As the Burrow Strike from Mind Control does connect again on the Nisha. Look at the right click with that meld. So much minus armor applied to Nisha. Ticking away. The egg is used as well, but the heal's coming out from Yapsor. Will this be enough? No. They find Nisha in the end, and it just feels like Team NIGMA are getting every single kill that they want.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
To reiterate, it's a 2k net worth lead, but against an Alchemist, this is more like a 6 or 7k.
Just Radiant's bottom tower.
And I like what they're doing. They're taking over this entire triangle area here with wards and killing anybody that comes up there and just focusing on pressuring this mid tower instead of taking the tier 1, because they're just running at Alch. They realize it's impossible for Secret to fight, and here they go again.
Yeah, just forcing him out of lane. I don't think they have any actual kill potential, but they do force out the ultas. Speaking of ult, Zai gets his off, trying to protect Puppey, but not going to happen. Now Zai's ult not really used to be able to get any sort of a kill. He's just going to get right click down and choppity chop for ILTW again. And this is just snowballing out of control for Team Secret as they look to be definitely getting wrecked here in this game number 3. Nice counter initiation from ILTW. Still does not have that shard. Is about to hit 20 minutes now. Nisha attempting to run away. Doesn't have enough mana for the choppity chop. You know, they should come out with a cosmetic where he's a cook. Acts as like a chef or something. Chef's hat.
That's a terrible idea.
I'm actually going to commission somebody to do that, literally.
Yeah. Big businessy millionaire guy.
Yeah. The chef's hat.
A starving artist, you're going to take advantage.
If Ursa can have a cowboy hat, Axe can have a chef's hat.
That was the cowboy hat was a mistake.
Not anymore. Okay. People love it now.
They do love it.
It's done a 180.
But Valve didn't like it.
No, they didn't. They did like it. They put it in the game. But then the community got very angry. Is Nisha trying to set up a kill here onto Miracle? Still has the Aegis for another 2.5 minutes. So this feels so hard for Secret. ILTW actually misses the call. Could actually get this kill. Spear into the tier 2, but there's the heals coming out, along with the Death Ward on the other side, but the Cold Embrace completely counteracts that Death Ward.
He is taking no damage, even without the Cold Embrace. Just the amount of armor that he has in the Vanguard. I think he was taking like, literally no damage.
Oh, mind control with a little baby Burrow Strike. That is not level 1. That is in fact a level 4 Burrow Strike that he missed. But the ILTW choppity chop again. Jumps in. Gets one. Curse applied to Nisha with the egg right next to him. And yeah, Hearts Arena comes out, but to little avail. Secret getting dumpstered in game number 3.
Radiant's middle
and
tower.
The problem is, although Matama Man just picked up 2 bounty runes in the enemy triangle.
Hey, that almost evened up the game network.
Wait a minute. They scanned him.
Yeah. Okay.
They might go back to...
I think they'd rather get Rax.
True. Oh, there he is. He's going back. But it's an AC that he has. This doesn't mean that he can fight. He needs a BKB.
He needs a lot more than that at this stage. They are down big time.
Actually, I don't even know if a BKB helps. Here.
Tier 3 taken out. Miracle. Still with the Aegis, of course. A Night Spear into the barracks. Maledict applied. But again, the heals from GH are just too strong. They find Zai has to buy back into the game. And with that Matu ult popped, NIGMA are going to reset, at least for now, but they could go back in. Mind control still with the epicenter available. Oh, Burrow Strike actually not going to go off. They're being called, though. They're just going to blow off Matu. 50 seconds on the deck. Triple kill for Miracle. Puppy looks to be next. GG is called.
Radiant's middle barracks.
This was a Gaben's mustache shellacking.
You think so?
I mean, I just wanted to say Gaben's mustache.
Because I would put it probably monumental.
Yeah, if I'm actually not trying to be a meme here, I would say monumental or mega.
Well, this is very important to get this right.
I need to revisit the tier list to refresh my memory on what they actually are, because might have made them up in haste and actually just forgotten about them. But
no,
at least we know what the top tiers are, right?
Yeah.
That's the important thing.
Yeah, they're all Gaben related.
That is true. Gaben is our lifeblood, of course, but yeah, NIGMA, they lose game 1 and they come back with a vengeance. Game 2 they pick a Vengeful Spirit, kind of awkward, but it ended up working out. And game 3